ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
This is Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. At this hour, Tiger Woods will return to competition at next week's PNC Championship with his son Charlie. The return of Tiger will come 10 months after his right leg was badly damaged in a car crash. Cowboys coach Mike McCarthy out the last game while in COVID protocols will be back to work tomorrow as the team prepares for Sunday's game at Washington. Washington's won 4 in a row, is 6th in the NFC, 2 back of NFC East leading Dallas. Part of the reason for Washington's turnaround after a slow start to the season, the play of the defense, notes coach Ron Rivera.
We got back to basics coming out of that bye. We talked about specifically, playing a specific way, and you really started to see the evolution of our defense, especially after the first 2 games that we've won recently.
Ron Rivera on Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. Washington pass rusher Montez Sweat on the COVID-19 list. He is expected to miss 10 days. Bears quarterback Justin Fields has been cleared to return from a ribs injury. He'll get the start Sunday against the Packers. NBA, the Nets will rest Kevin Durant and LaMarcus Aldridge tonight against the Rockets. Durant played 41 minutes in last night's win.
Coming up Thursday, Tom Brady looks to bolster his MVP resume against a team he owns. Plus, the leader in the NBA MVP race is on center stage. That's Thursday morning. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max on ESPN Radio.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
James Robinson going to play football on Sunday, it looks like, folks.
Was he not gonna?
I don't know. I didn't know what to expect.
Oh, I got you.
Going to be benched? Going to be held out?
Yeah.
Looks like he's going to play.
Looks like we're all on the same page. Sarcasm, huh?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I do feel a couple things today. I feel like this story, which has been a major story in our world, I understand not everybody, but a lot of people really got inflated like over the last 36 hours.
Yeah.
And it's almost like in the building it became a story because it got inflated over the last 36 hours. Mm-hmm. But it was a story for a couple of weeks, and we've been talking about it for a better part of the whole year. Yeah. But it really got escalated over these last couple of weeks. And there's a part of me that's kind of like, all right, this story has run its course a little bit. We know what it is.
Yeah.
Right? We're not going to, if you're looking for another answer, I told you this yesterday. I think part of the reason why people kind of liked the show on Monday night and what James said is because it's a little bit of what people wanted to hear. Yeah. Right? Everybody believes, like, hey, it looks like he's getting benched. And then the running back says, I feel like I'm getting benched. And it's like, yeah, James, everybody else sucks. James, you're the man. Thanks for saying what we wanted you to say. We really wanted the coach to say it, or we wanted somebody to say it. Well, if you're now still looking for something like that, you're not going to get it. Mm-hmm. If you want Urban Meyer to just say, hey, this is everything that we thought about James Robinson, this is why we did X, Y, Z, you're not going to get that. Mm-hmm. I mean, we obviously got a little more about it today, but there is still some more aloofness when it comes to the James Robinson conversation. It's gone from injury was the main reason to now at least an admission of you bench yourself is kind of the quote from Urban Meyer if you're going to fumble the ball. But then there's still some, okay, well, why did Carlos Hyde sit this? We're just going to go around in the circle.
No,
you know what I mean?
Laviska Shenault did not bench himself when he fumbled against San Francisco.
Yeah, he brings up Treadwell. But the bottom line is it was a different set of rules for James as it appears on a bunch of different levels, maybe for a myriad of different reasons. Or maybe it's just a bad job of recognition on the sidelines part, on a bunch of different coaches' part. So I just think if you want some more further explanation, just stop because you're not going to get it. Mm-hmm. All right. I think everybody's asked. And to me, the story now moves on. It's not put to bed. It's a memorable part of this 2021 season. Mm-hmm. And where it goes from here is still to be determined. Like, is he going to be a part of this thing? What happens in the offseason? Heck, I mean, we thought that he'd be getting a contract in the offseason. I don't even know where that's going to go. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot to still be said about James Robinson. But I'm telling you, if you're looking for something else other than what we've heard, you're not going to get it. We've heard James. We now have heard Trevor. Mm-hmm. We've heard Urban. You're just not going to get much else unless, like, Darrell Bevel tomorrow says something enlightening, which I highly doubt he will on that topic specifically. So there is a part of, okay, we're not all on the same page.
Sure.
But I think the page has turned. Mm-hmm. And now I will give them credit down there today in saying, all right, we got 5 games to go, and it's all about these 5 games. It's a 5-game season. And I think they were pretty consistent with whoever talked down there saying that. And I can buy into that. Like, I can say, all right, let's see what you can do over 5 games. Okay. You've had this bump in the road. You meet with your star running back. It seems like the rest of the team supports the fact that he should be playing. Yep. I thought Trevor was really good on that. It wasn't long. It wasn't multiple questions asked, but it was pretty sincere of, I voiced my opinion, Trevor said. You know? I mean, he sounds like he went to bat for James Robinson.
As he should have.
As the team also, he indicated the team kind of cleared the air on the topic too. Mm-hmm. So there was definitely a talking point these last couple of days inside that building, including this morning probably at their team meeting as they prep for Tennessee. And so I think that part of it is now intriguing for me to see and watch this Sunday and these last 5 games is, how is James Robinson used? How healthy is he? How productive is he? How much does this team go out and play now and say, okay, that's done. Let's put that away and let's just go play football and try to win some games.
I mean, I don't think it's done. I think it's squashed because you're worried about Tennessee now. I think Trevor Lawrence comes forward because he understands that for his development, he needs James Robinson out there. But at the end of the day, regardless of what the drama is, this game has always been about wins and losses. And Urban Meyer understands that. The players understand that. Every person in that stadium understands that. So it's just a matter of time before it's like, okay, well, we can't let this distraction take over from our game planning, from our game prep to Tennessee. So the quicker that you can get by it, the faster you can get on to Tennessee and focus on that game. That's what's taking part right now. I don't think that it's over in terms of James Robinson's happy, Trevor Lawrence is happy, the entire locker room's happy. Far from it. I just think where you have bigger things to worry about now with Tennessee, and if your mind and your energy is not geared towards that, then it's going to be another embarrassing loss like you saw in L.A.
Yeah, I agree. It could be. I'm really interested to see how this one comes out. I had a lot of thoughts on the Trevor Lawrence part of it. I'm kind of the Urban Meyer part of it and the James Robinson. I think, again, we've said so much, and I think we're not that wrong on the whole situation, and it's an odd situation. It is interesting they got together, and that shows you how loud it got internally in the building. That's what that shows me. Mm-hmm. And do you remember, I mean, does that happen sometimes? Like, we talked about this yesterday with Scobie a little bit, where you might get kind of called into the principal's office if it's something on Twitter or something like that. Yeah. But are there some times where there's just this noise outside the building that
needs to be addressed?
That needs to be addressed because, like, listen, I know you're probably seeing this on here and there and you're being asked about it and all this just to get everybody on the same page. But that's what this felt like to me. Yeah. Like, it felt like, listen, we finally have realized everybody's talking about James Robinson here, and we heard James talk about it too. Let's address this.
No, I mean, I think when one of your players goes on a show and voices some displeasure or voices a miscommunication, it's your job as an organization, it's your job as a head coach to meet with him and figure out what the issue is. Like, any coach is going to do that. If you don't, then you got bigger and deeper issues there. So, these things can definitely come about. These meetings can definitely take part, whether it's playing time, whether it's being disgruntled, whether it's an issue in the locker room. Like, these meetings always take part. I'm a little surprised that it took the boiling point for James Robinson to go on a show and voice his displeasure to get to that. It didn't happen, after the first fumble, and then it kind of lingered on and festered to the second week when you're playing the Rams. I'm surprised it got to that point. But nevertheless, that was the breaking point, I guess, and they had to meet about it. That's pretty common in NFL locker rooms.
Yeah, I would suspect that to be the case as well. Much like, I mean, heck, if somebody were to write in the TV or radio world or whatever, something on, hey, you're about to be sold or rumors of this. I mean, it's addressed in your workplace, usually in a staff meeting or something like that. So I would imagine those things get addressed, and that's pretty typical. I want to move on to Trevor Lawrence here because I thought he was pretty I caught some things today.
There it is. Yep.
No, I just caught some things today about Trevor. But before I move on from James Robinson completely, I was thinking about this. I'm really trying to listen, we talk to James every week on Jags Report Live. He's been really good. He shows up every week. I really don't know what happens next in terms of even that show for him. I've told you that yesterday. I just wonder out loud. Like, I haven't heard from anybody. I mean, I expect James to be there next Monday at Sneakers in Jags Beach on Jags Report Live. But the one thing that I was always very sensitive to, and so is my co-host, and we talk about this, we really do, is we don't want to put the young man in that difficult of a situation. Like, we don't feel like we're the ones that put him in the situation. I feel like the Jags put him in that situation. I mean, the coaching staff put him in that situation. But after all this, I kind of wonder how it plays out in his mind. I bet he was a little uncomfortable with the idea that this thing went all over the place on Tuesday, and everybody was talking about it Monday night into Tuesday. But then I think a little bit more about it here on Wednesday and what's transpired, and I see this overwhelming support in the city, in the fan base for James. I see this support from his teammates, it looks like, for James. I see, well, in a world of branding, a lot of name recognition, maybe even across the country for James, people, if they're talking about this. And then I also see a meeting that probably needed to happen between coach and player to clear the air a little bit. And so I wonder, did this whole ordeal over the last couple of weeks help or hurt James Robinson, the future of James Robinson, the rest of this season for James Robinson? Do you feel at the end it could turn into a positive, I guess?
When you say for his future, like here, or for his psyche in general right now?
Maybe a little of both. You can take it either way.
So for his psyche, because I remember being my second year in the NFL, and now granted, I mean, in terms of resume and in terms of just the equity that he's built up on this team, I mean, he's the best player on offense, probably the best player on this team right now. So that can give you an ego, or like you have the right to have a little entitlement. You have the right to have a little ego. He doesn't have that. To me, if you look at his demeanor, if you look at the way he answers questions and just his personality, he has the demeanor of somebody who's still trying to make this team. And when you have that demeanor in your second year, then you don't want to do anything to cause a distraction. You don't want to do anything that's going to put you in the headlines to take away from what you're doing on the field. Now, James Robinson going on the show and answering questions truthfully and already answering questions that we already know and only confirming them, that could go to James Robinson's psyche and said, oh, no, I didn't think this was going to happen, and now I'm being a distraction, and now I'm adding more to this team that I don't want to add to.
Yeah.
That's what I think
wanted to blend in, and now I'm the headline.
Yes. I don't think Jalen Ramsey would have had any problem if it was him. I don't think James Robinson is wired like that. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. That's an awesome thing.
No,
I think that's going to give him.
I think you're right on.
I think that's going to give him the chip on his shoulder for years and years to come, and that's why he got to this point in the first place. Is that psyche? Is that mentality? So from his psyche, I think he didn't foresee it happening like this, and he regrets being such a big distraction, even though in the grand scheme of things, he's not. Now, he doesn't know that because he's in a bubble. Like, it's your second year in the NFL. You put yourself in a bubble, and all you see is the outside world, us, the media, and social media, and how that, is portrayed. So that's what I think his psyche's going through right now. I think in terms of what's it going to mean for him and this team going forward, I think it's only going to make things better because you had a conversation with Urban Meyer. Now, Urban said one thing. We don't know what happened in that conversation. We don't know exactly how well it went. Urban Meyer said it went good. Okay. But we don't know how great that conversation went. We know Trevor Lawrence went to his defense. So, to me, it was already establishing what was going to happen eventually anyways. You just maybe forwarded the process a little bit. You expedited the process and got it, going a little faster because of what you said. So, in terms of his time here or what that did for his career, I think it helped it. I think it gave him a little more clarification, which as a player, that's all you ever really want. You don't want to go through the ringer and be told one thing and then it's all hearsay. No player should ever have to go through that. So I think it's going to help James Robinson's career immensely, even this year. But I think his psyche may have took a little bit of damage just because he feels bad for being the distraction.
Yeah, I think that's very eloquently said. I think you're right on. I think the Jalen Ramsey part of that equation in terms of an example is spot on. Jalen Ramsey didn't care what he said in front of a microphone. It wasn't going to impact his play, and he didn't give a damn if it impacted the team, quite frankly.
Sure.
I mean, he just didn't.
Yep.
But I do think you're right. I think James is a hard hat, humble guy, goes about his business, would like you not to even talk to him, and he just wants to go do his job. And therefore, then he became kind of this big story, which is why I say he was uncomfortable. I don't think he's uncomfortable with anything he said, because I think he just, again, we all knew it. Like, I don't think he said anything outlandish. I think everybody said he handled it pretty well. Yeah. But I think being in the spotlight actually makes him a little uncomfortable. For sure. In that sense. And so I think you're right on that.
I don't think when you're in the locker room and you know, you have the TVs on, maybe ESPN's on, NFL Live's on, and James Robinson sitting there with his teammates, and he sees himself pop up and maybe what he said. Yeah, I don't think he's really comfortable with that.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. I think that's observant on your part too. I think that's right on. I think that's spot on. But I will say this: if the organization didn't know it, I think they now do. He's a very valued piece of this community and this franchise. There was a swell of people, and I'm not saying they all look at Twitter, but there was a swell of people, and now T-shirts being made for James Robinson.
Yeah.
And there's also teammates going to his support as well, and that was crystal clear from what was said today. And topping that is the most important teammate there is, and that's Trevor Lawrence. I think this was the first time we've seen Trevor as a leader of that locker room. And I'm not saying it hasn't happened. I'm saying from the outside looking in, this is the first time we've seen him in a leadership role. We'll play the soundbite a little bit later, but he basically said, I voiced my opinion on it. Like, I'm a rookie guy, 12 games into my career, and I made it be known that he's one of our best players and he needs to be on the field.
Yeah.
You know?
But, and I get it took maybe, so Trevor, I mean, I feel like Trevor should have known that already. Like, Trevor preseason camp number, like day number 1 should have known that.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm glad that Trevor went to his defense because that had to happen. And it shows, you know, the unity on a team. That's how you win football games, is unity. But like, I still, I guess, don't understand how it took us this long, like for a guy like Urban Meyer. And maybe Meyer knew, he just, for whatever reason, once again, we went through the motions and you sat him for way too long. But like, I don't get how we got to this point where it's saying, oh yeah, James Robinson's a good football player. No kidding.
Agree. Yeah, I agree.
No kidding. Look at the tape last year.
Yeah.
No kidding.
But this had a little bit of a feel to me, and again, I might be embellishing. Yeah. I just get the feel that this was, the way it was said by Trevor was, listen, I made sure I went, and again, I don't know if this was a, hey, let's talk about this, everybody in a team meeting, and Trevor raised his hand and be like, we need that guy on the field. I don't care if he fumbled twice or not. Yeah. Or is it Trevor to his offensive coordinator, Bevel, and to Urban Meyer walking down the hall and be like, guys, what are we doing here? Like, if we're struggling on offense, if we're going to struggle on offense, can we do it with number 25? No. Like, why is he not in the huddle for 20 plays, you know? So I don't know exactly the context of it, but it's pretty crystal clear that he went and supported his teammate and said, listen up, guys. Yeah. We need this guy, you know, and not just in the media. Like, he obviously had done that over these last couple of days. I think it's pretty clear. Here's what Trevor Lawrence said when asked about James Robinson today.
My eyes, obviously I'm the one that's out there, see all the pieces moving. I see the whole picture. Bottom line is James is one of our best players, and he's got to be on the field, and we addressed it, and I feel like we're in a good spot, and the whole team we're good, you know. Whatever may have happened, I honestly don't even know everything that went into it. You know, I'm playing the game, and stuff happens on the sideline with coaching decisions. I don't really get into that, but I know, and I voice my opinion, James is one of our best players, and he's got to be in the game, and I think we're all on the same page, so there's no confusion there. So we're gonna move forward, but I know James is a hell of a player, so I want him out there.
Yeah, so I mean, I think it said a lot. You can break down and read in between everything. I don't really think you have to. I think there's no doubt Trevor Lawrence stepped up and said something to the coaching staff about this, and not just had his support in the locker room, like, hey, man, I don't know what's going on, but you should be playing. I think this was verbalized, and I also think Trevor did something else there that really Urban Meyer has been yet to do. He said there was something up there. There was something that boiled enough to the point that we had to bring it up. Yeah. And so he said, yeah, and now we're moving on from it. We're good. Again, I mean, Trevor does a much better job of this sometimes than the head coach of saying, hey, there was something. We addressed it. We support him. We're moving on. Yeah. And there's some simplicity to that now makes, I feel like everybody else in town, like, all right, let's go. That's cool. Can't wait to watch 25 play on Sunday.
No, for sure. I mean, I feel like, first of all, he is the best player on the team.
Yeah.
But best player on the team. Not one of them. He is the best player on the team. So, yeah, I think anytime your best player on the team's not playing, that's got to be addressed. That's got to be brought up. I mean, I'll be honest. I hope Trevor Lawrence wasn't the only guy that addressed his concern with James Robinson not playing. And this is even after, this isn't after the LA game. This is after the Atlanta game even. I hope that was brought up a little bit. I hope
I'm not
Trevor's
sure
not the
it was
only.
after the Atlanta game.
Well, I don't know. Well, then you got bigger issues in that locker room. Because anytime that your best player is not playing in a football game, I would raise up questions. Now, injuries are one thing, but I think James made it pretty clear that injuries haven't really hampered him in terms of, being on the field or not.
Yeah.
So that was up to the coach's discretion. So, yeah, if I'm a player on that team and I'm not winning and I'm frustrated and I'm pent up, if the best player on our team's not playing, I'm saying something right after the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I do think that from there, in defense of the captains and other people on that team, if they're probably not privy to exactly what's going on with the injury front and how healthy he is, and maybe that's it. But it took until this week when James says, I'm good, and I feel like I'm benched, to really rally support and verbalize. Again, I would think, we talked about this yesterday, I asked you multiple times, is this up to the captains to say something? Mm-hmm. And I understand Trevor Lawrence is wearing the C, but we understand, too, there's a part of me that's like, I think the captaincy stuff can be a little overrated sometimes. I've seen it around here, and I wonder what the impact that's been made. And I also think when you're a captain and you're a rookie quarterback and you're the franchise savior, well, you're going to get the C. But what do you do with the C? Mm-hmm. And I think this was an opportunity for him to do something with that captaincy. And I'm sure Brandon Linder and maybe some others did it as well. But I think it was a big moment maybe for Trevor inside that building to say, hey, I'm going to say something about this.
Yeah. I mean, I hope it was almost to the point like in that movie Rudy when they all turn in their jerseys if Rudy doesn't play and they're like, Coach, you can have my spot, you can have my spot.
Yeah.
I seriously, I hope that was almost to the point of the Jacksonville Jaguars where Trevor was like, hey, guys, all right, if James Robinson gets benched again, we're going to go into Coach Urban's office and we're going to put in our jerseys and be like, all right, well, then we're out of here.
Yeah.
That smells like a video you could make and just crop everybody's face on the scene.
Oh, man.
You're on it. You're on it.
Well, not that we talked about it. I can't be on it.
No, it doesn't matter. You can still do it.
Nah.
I can't visualize it. I need to see it.
I can. I mean, you know where I'm at.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. You remember the scene?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, you can do something like that.
I do think it's fair to wonder, though, we've asked this question about Urban Meyer all year. Did he lose the trust after the Ohio stuff? It doesn't feel like he did because we kind of said the locker room might have laughed that off a little, This one's a little different. And so when you have players that have to go and say, hey, we want our best player playing, do you lose trust there? Or is Urban able to remedy it by saying, you know what, you're right, we were wrong, and then everything's repaired? I don't know. But now if you have players saying, hey, man, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Do you lose some trust there? Again, we'll see the play out, and I'm not even sure the field performance will dictate it because they haven't been very good anyway.
Yeah.
So,
well, no, I think you lose trust more of that, of just what it looks like on offense right now.
Yeah.
Like it's hard to trust the play calls.
Yeah.
Hard to trust the scheme. Hard to trust the work that they're putting in because you see the result on the field and it does not look good right now.
Yeah. Well, you know me. I'm a big fan of Trevor on the podium.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought he was brilliant today in a lot of ways.
A+ on the QB report card.
A+. He's way better than Zach Wilson, even Mac Jones in that department. Rookie of the year on the podium.
On the podium.
Yeah.
Now.
Good guy award potential.
Now, probably a plus, 25,000 in terms of rookie of the year for Trevor Lawrence.
Wait and see these 5 games.
Plus 30,000, man?
He did say something today that I'm going to hang on to for the next couple of days. Okay? Mm-hmm. That I really had nothing to do with James Robinson, by the way. Mm-hmm. But he said something, and I want to see if he does what he says.
Okay.
All right? Did you listen to Trevor today?
I didn't. I mean, I heard bites. Okay. I guess I didn't hear this part.
Yeah, well, you might not have. And I want to see if you hear it the same way I do, seriously.
Okay.
Because I've seen this before here. We've been around long enough with young quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And he addressed something that I think has been a major problem with young quarterbacks over the years here.
Okay. Did he guarantee two touchdowns?
2 would be nice.
Because I would. Hey.
What he might have guaranteed, and this is real.
Yeah.
That the ball may travel on its furthest pass in the air more than 13 yards.
Oh, okay.
Now we could be on to something.
Okay.
We talk about it next. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Mix of clouds and sun today, scattered afternoon and early evening showers developing and spreading from west to east. We still reach the upper 70s before the rain moves in. will drop into the 50s overnight. Partly sunny, not as warm tomorrow, but still a nice day. Your Thursday high in the lower 70s. Friday will be partly sunny, back up to near 80 degrees, and near record warmth for Saturday. Partly sunny skies and above 80 degrees. With your first alert forecast, I'm Action News Jax, Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds, where the anniversary sale's been extended through Christmas Eve. Save up to 41% store-wide.
Whether you're a rock-solid hard athlete or a hardcore fan, in Little League, a pro, or a weekend warrior, Cora Physical Therapy is here to help you reach your goals. We're happy to announce that Cora is now open in Kingsland, on Boone and Haddock, and we're coming soon to Brunswick. With a total of 17 clinics in the Jacksonville region, there's sure to be one near your home or work. Call or come in today for a free screening. No physician's referral needed. CoraPhysicalTherapy.com, treating everyone right.
Tobacco-Free Florida has many free ways to help you quit nicotine. From free 2-week starter kits of quit aids to free cessation services like Phone Quit and Group Quit. We're even trying out new motivational tactics.
You're the greatest quitter. He's tobacco's greatest quitter. He's tobacco's greatest quitter of all.
Or maybe we'll just stick to the ways we know work. Visit tobaccofreeflorida.com or call 1-877-YOU-CAN-NOW for free nicotine patches.
If you're experiencing domestic violence, it is not your fault. Hubbard House is here for you. You are not alone. Hubbard House provides free services and emergency shelter to survivors of domestic violence in Duval and Baker counties. Call 904-354-3114 anytime, 24/7 to confidentially speak to a caring advocate.
Smoked for hours, served in minutes. Now that sounds like good barbecue. And it is at Willie Jewell's Old School Barbecue. Open 7 days a week. Try the smoked wings, southern sides, and big old platters. Trivia night and kids eat free specials during the week. Check out the Willie Jewell's app and catering for all events. Order online and skip the line. Visit williejewells.com to see other locations in Florida and Georgia. Yulee to St. Augustine, Brunswick and Kingsland. Willie Jewell's Old School Barbecue. Smoked for hours, served in minutes at Willie Jewell's.
In today's world, there's a lot of ways to know what's happening. At Action News Jax, we make sure our local stories have more detail, so you get every angle that impacts you. We dig for answers because you deserve the whole story. Taking time to provide context so you're clear on what's really going on. Because we know information is thrown at you 24/7, and we want you to know that Action News Jax is local coverage you can count on.
For most, the holiday season is filled with family and fond memories. But for area foster kids, it can be one of the most difficult times of the year. While you can't change that, you can help create new holiday memories by donating a gift they've been dreaming about. Simply contact Jewish Family and Community Services, choose a wish list, then shop, or donate online. Add some joy to a child's holiday by visiting jfcsjax.org. That's jfcsjax.org.
Playing golf is an important part of how I stay active. On the course, every shot counts, and the same is true in the fight against COVID-19. If we each take a shot at defeating COVID-19, then together we all win. In the fight against COVID-19, every shot counts. Schedule your shot today. This message is sponsored by the Florida Department of Elder Affairs, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this station.
For 50 years, Taylor has been a leader in caring for the elderly. Providing quality, compassionate care has always been our mission. At Taylor Care Center and Taylor Manor, our recipe for success has always been our exceptional team. They work tirelessly to ensure that your family member gets the best care possible. When residents were not able to spend time with you and your family, our team stepped up to celebrate birthdays, anniversaries, and special occasions. Our dedicated staff is among the best in the business. Taylor Residents, providing safe, compassionate care every day.
Bono's Pit Barbecue. Yeah, it's good. It's more than food. It's about the flavor, the tradition. It's barbecue, and it's who we are at Bono's. Locally smoked since 1949. Almost 20 locations around Jacksonville. On the menu, smokehouse stackers, sandwiches, salads, sides, and Bono's Family Feast. Bono's Pit Barbecue. If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit. Authentic, traditional Southern barbecue. Feel the flavor, feel the community. Bono's Pit Barbecue. Yeah, it's good.
Listen to ESPN 690 anytime, anywhere, on any device. Whether you're at home or on the go, get the latest on the Jags, FSU, the Jumbo Shrimp, and Action Sports Jax on Odyssey.com. That's AUDACY.com or on ESPN690.com.
Times, yeah, it's hard, especially as a young player. You know, you just want to do as much as you can. You just want to win. That's where I'm at too. So sometimes you try to do too much, and I feel like I've done a good job taking care of the ball. But I think you saw that early on, like trying to do too much, trying to force things, and then got better as the season's gone on. But I think now it's just you can't worry about every little thing. You just have to go play, trust the guys around you to go make plays, and I think that's half the battle. And then once you have that trust, then you can just go do it. And that's what we're building toward.
That's Trevor Lawrence this afternoon talking about this offense in these last 5 games. I'm moving on from James Robinson for now and on to Trevor Lawrence. And so there was a little we're going to play a little bit more here, but I'll give you a bit of a background. And first of all, you've seen what's happened this year, right? We saw in the first whatever games, I don't know, maybe it's a handful of games. I don't know if it's 5 or 6 or whenever the interception stopped. Maybe it was the first 4. But he was letting the ball, forcing the ball downfield maybe too much, right? He wanted to make the plays. And what were we talking about? We're like, oh, my gosh, just rein it in a little bit. It's okay to check down. Don't take so many chances. You don't have to force everything down the field. But we were also seeing some electric throws from the young man, right? I mean, he was showing off his arm. And so we're like, okay, there's some interceptions, but there's also like this play and that play. Well, somewhere in there, you obviously try to limit mistakes. But then this is like the age-old problem with young quarterbacks and coaching staffs and everybody else is they say, don't turn it over. Don't turn it over. Don't turn it over. Mm-hmm. And then what happens? For a 6-week stretch now, he can't even break 150 yards throwing the ball because he's playing in a 15-yard box. Mm-hmm. Now, some of that is what? Separation. Some of that we think has been scheme. Some of that's the lack of James Robinson involved and healthy. There's some contributing factors. But when you go 6 weeks without throwing the football down the field and without 160 or a 225-yard game, essentially, that's a problem, man. I mean, that is not how you play this game. You can't play scared. You cannot play to not turn it over. And sure, he didn't turn it over, but you know what? He's got 1 touchdown since Halloween. Yeah. They have 6 touchdowns in the last 6 games. I mean, you can't do that. And so we see it all the time, and I think it was most glaring with Blaine Gabbert, and you played with him, and you know this was the mantra, and Gabbert had a good arm, a very good arm. Yeah, he had deficiencies, a lot of them, but he's still in the league because he's got a very good arm. He's got arm talent. Yeah. And, man, they just said, don't make a mistake. Don't make a mistake. I mean, there would be a ball that was thrown to the sideline, and he would throw it 5 yards out of bounds just so it wouldn't be picked instead of giving his guy a chance to make a play. And it's like, that's not how the game is played. I mean, we just referenced the other day, Justin Herbert rolled to his right. He sat there, he had all day, and he threw it up for grabs in the end zone. His guy made a play. Like, that's what happens in the NFL. Blake Bortles had more success because he had a guy like Allen Robinson who he would just chuck it up to, and he would make a play. Sure. And so some of the yards and some of the success Blake Bortles had, even more so than these guys with better arm talent and that are probably better at playing the QB position. Yeah. But because he just let it go. And then there were some times in the career of Blake Bortles was like, because the turnovers were so heavy that he had to reel it in, and then he got skittish. Sure. And I just think it's the worst thing. It is the worst thing a quarterback can do is get skittish about throwing the football. And one of the best things about Trevor Lawrence, this is why he's a number 1 overall pick, this is why he's so highly thought of coming into the league, is his arm talent. Mm-hmm. I mean, we saw it on display at the Clemson Pro Day. I mean, that throw was like, whoa, that's it. Yeah. And I got to watch warm-ups if I want to see that throw on a Sunday. Mm-hmm. You just don't see it. You don't see any ball being chucked like that. Now, again, it was a nice throw in the end zone to Tavon Austin here against the Falcons, right? Mm-hmm. And Austin catches it back in the end zone. I think Orlovsky raved about the throw. Yep. But, I mean, we're talking like 1 throw in a month.
Do we got Dan Orlovsky this week? Did he say anything yet?
No, that's
he
the
hasn't
problem.
broke down anything?
Nothing yet.
Oh, so it was a horrible week then.
If it takes one Dan Orlovsky review every month, then you're not doing a good job of getting it down the field.
Dan Orlovsky was reviewing Trevor Lawrence every single week, though. Give Dan Orlovsky some more credit.
That's because I was paying him.
Oh, I was going to say, hey, Dan, we get it. Trevor's going to be good, but maybe he can probably review that press conference with his sound bites that Trevor said. Maybe he can do a little mental stuff.
But you understand what I'm saying? I think it's a bad place to be. Well, it's more of a mental thing, in my opinion. I think it's more like I'm going to hesitate to throw the ball deep. And if you hesitate, it's like I say, it's like a yellow light, folks. Mm-hmm. If you hesitate, don't go.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know Trevor Lawrence's mentality right now. I don't know where he's at on his development and this season. I've seen frustration. I've seen him have looks of, man, like, what are we doing? Can't we get better? Can't you catch the football? All of this stuff. I'm not quite sure if his confidence is shattered to the point where I don't want to go deep anymore. Now, a lot of that has to do with play calling as well. And they haven't really called a lot of, and we talked about this a couple of days ago, where sometimes you got to scheme guys open. If you don't have the wide receivers to create separation, then you have to find another way to get them separation. Mm-hmm. Every team can do this, right? There's receivers all the time in the NFL that you wonder how they're still in the league, but somehow they're still 10 yards wide open, right? And that's where scheme comes into play. So that needs to happen for sure. I think from Trevor's standpoint, yeah, you want to – the last thing you want to see him do is put the safety on and not pull the trigger.
Put the governor on, yeah.
Exactly, because then that is going to – Harper development. And I guess that's my main thing right now with why I am nervous about Trevor Lawrence. Because once again, I compared this before. Peyton Manning, his first year, didn't look the best. But at least Peyton Manning was letting it fly. Now, Peyton Manning had a lot better receivers, tight end. Your offense was a lot better off than what the Jaguars have here. But I don't think that would have mattered for Peyton Manning. I think Peyton Manning, his rookie year, you could have been throwing it to who knows. And he would have tried to get the ball there. That's what I got to see from Trevor Lawrence. Now, drop passes, yeah, they kill momentum. Penalties, yes, they kill momentum. If you're Trevor Lawrence, yeah, it sucks, but you got to keep on going, man, right? You got to be the spark, you got to be the energy, and you have to be the guy that can rally your guys above those mistakes. It's not fair to do it as a rookie. It's not really fair to do it as any kind of quarterback because you get the sense that if guys are dropping balls or if guys are going, if they're false starting, Tom Brady would blow a gasket. Peyton Manning would blow a gasket. Aaron Rodgers would probably get you benched. That's just, it is what it is. Trevor Lawrence doesn't have that luxury right now because, this team isn't that talented. They aren't the Green Bay Packers. They aren't the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So you got to do with what you have. So you got to just go past that point and just say, screw it, I'm going to try to will us to victory. And if that willing to victory looks like 2 interceptions on deep balls, then so be it. I think we can all live with that. We're not expecting you to win. What we're expecting you to do is go out there and give us some ooh-ah moments. We haven't had a lot of ooh-ah moments. Now, Dan Orlovsky can go in the film and try to break down whatever, but we haven't had a lot of ooh-ah moments this year.
Yeah, you need to respect Orlovsky more. But anyway.
No, I'm all good with Dan Orlovsky, man.
Listen, I can't wait to get him on the show. Here's more about what Trevor said that again, is music to my ears because at least he's acknowledging that he's been playing in a box. And now he says, and again, I'm watching this. Now will he do it? But he says he's going to go kind of let it rip.
Man, just like I've always said, keep getting better. I really just want to go play free, go be me, make plays. And I think just having a great week of practice, trusting the game plan, and then just when game day comes, letting it rip. That's something that as this season's gone on, obviously there's been, like we said, ups and downs and a lot of stuff going on. And that's the one thing I need to be consistent on is just go out there and play. And just be myself, and that's something I want to do a better job of. Don't play in a box, just go play free, and that's something I really, really want to do, especially finishing out this season, build on something. Like you said, go stack some wins and feel good about the year. Obviously, it didn't go exactly as planned, but still, we can finish well and have something to build on for next year.
I mean, the acknowledgement of all of the stuff that I think is true right there is, yeah, you know what? Listen, I've been battling a lot of stuff. There's a lot going on inside this building and in my mind and trying to play this position and James Robinson stuff and Urban Meyer stuff and everything else. And it's probably hampered me a little bit. what I'm translating it into. And on top of that, I got off to a bad start throwing interceptions. We're trying to win football games. The best way to win football games, not to turn the ball over, like all those things. And some of those things are true. But at the end of the day, you got 5 games to go. And right now, if he were to finish the season playing the way he's playing, we will be critical of Trevor Lawrence because we'll be like, what did he show us?
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
And so I think at this stage of the game, if he throws 10 picks over the last 5 weeks, it would be the same as if he threw 1 over the last 5 weeks, but with only 1 touchdown. You know what I mean? The talk would be the same.
Yeah.
So just let it go. Let's see some highlight plays. Let's see you push the ball down the field. Let's see if you can score some points. Let's see if you do have a 3-touchdown, 2-interception game, and you might still lose because you turned it over late.
Yeah.
But at least we see these plays. We're like, all right, we got to clean that up and still throw for 3 touchdowns. That's the next step going into year 2. Or maybe you do sneak out some of these games. And by the way, Trevor Lawrence has some big games coming up. You know why? At least he does for the fan base. He might not for himself, but he's got Zach Wilson on this menu, and he's got Mac Jones on the menu. And I think there's a lot of folks around here that I'm not sure anybody believes they can beat the Patriots. I get that. But they really want to beat the Jets. And it would be nice to see Trevor play 2 good football games against those 2 players that were also drafted in the same class, because there's not a lot to hang on to right now in Jacksonville. I think those 2 games are really, really important, at least for some of the narrative and mantra going into the offseason.
Yeah, what I have to see from Trevor Lawrence going forward is, I need to see some more touchdowns. That would be great, but I need to see you elevate the guys around you. Whether that's maybe and see, it's so he's in such a bad spot because yes, you're a captain, but you haven't really earned the stripes to really chew guys out, right? Like if Laviska Shenault, I don't want to say Laviska. I mean, like if Marvin Jones drops a football, Trevor Lawrence doesn't earn the right to chew out Marvin Jones yet. You know, you just have you haven't earned that.
That's true.
You have to go through the fire a little more to have that, in your pocket. So like it's not like he can just go out there and chew people out in meetings. Like I don't think Trevor is to that point yet because to be fair, in terms of wins and in terms of your performance, you haven't earned that, and that takes time. But I do need to see him elevate the guys around him. Like what you have right now on this team is what you have, and I understand that. But eventually, you're going to have to stop using personnel as an excuse. Is this the worst roster in the NFL in terms of offense, in terms of wide receivers? Maybe. But like, what makes Aaron Rodgers so great is the fact that Marquez Valdez-Scantling wouldn't probably play on any other team in the NFL. Alan Lazard couldn't make it here on the practice squad, but he's in Green Bay doing his thing. Randall Cobb might be 50 years old, but you know what? With Aaron Rodgers throwing the football, he's good. Tyler Davis, I don't know who Tyler Davis is. Be honest, don't know who Tyler Davis is. But you know what? Pretty good in the Green Bay Packers right now. You know who Tyler Davis is?
Is it the one that the Jags had?
That's what I was just wondering.
Maybe that's him then. But he's
tight end?
Yeah, tight end. Yeah.
No way.
Tyler Davis is playing for the Packers?
You guys got to watch more Packer film, man. Yeah.
He's like out there playing?
Listen, until they hang my picture on the wall in the pickle, I ain't watching more Packers film.
Fair enough. Yeah, because
it
one
is
dude.
him.
Because whatchamacallit got hurt.
Yeah, Tunyon.
Tunyon, but then the other guy too. The
Mercedes?
No, the guy from Cincinnati that they drafted. I think he's out now too.
So you're telling me their tight ends are Mercedes and Tyler Davis?
Yeah.
2 former Jags.
And maybe that I think the DeGura guy from Cincinnati might be coming back, but I think he was hurt or something. So
one catch for 4 yards.
Who knew the Jaguars would miss draft pick Tyler Davis more than draft pick Josh Oliver at the tight end spot?
No, there you go, man.
There you go.
But my point is that Aaron Rodgers has the ability to elevate the guys around him. You put any other quarterback in that situation, and they're probably not going to have that much success. That's the power of Aaron Rodgers. Now, I'm not comparing Trevor Lawrence to Aaron Rodgers. You have a long, long ways to go to get to that point. But my point is that if you want to start earning your stripes, if you want to start, getting respect, and if you want to start saying, hey, this is the guy we've been waiting on, then you got to elevate the guys around you. You got to inspire the guys around you. You got to do something. You have to have that it factor, and I haven't seen a lot of that from Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, I agree. And I do wonder if the 2 topics we've talked about to start the show kind of lend itself together in saying, hey, we need James Robinson to play. This is my offense, and I want James Robinson to play. And I don't know if that is. Again, I might be embellishing, being a little dramatic there, but does doing that, or at least saying something about that, and then saying, hey, I just got to let it go, man. Just go play like I played at Cartersville and I played in Clemson. I think he later said it. He's like, listen, we're all talented here. We're playing for a reason. We have good skill sets. Just go. You be confident and play. And don't worry about the one thing that happens in the NFL is worrying about what the other team does so well and then being scared of it.
Yeah.
You know? And that's what the Jags, when you're inferior, that's your mentality. And they are inferior probably on a roster standpoint. But it can't be your mentality, man. Just take it to them. Just go and say, hey, we're going to play with you. Instead of saying, oh, no, we can't run today, or we can't go left today, we can't run deep today, we can't do this today.
Yeah.
Now just do it.
Do you think we have the worst wide receiving core in the NFL right now?
Nah.
I honestly don't.
You seen the Lions?
Good point. Lions, Bears, because Robinson's out.
But what's the Giants look like right now?
A lot of injuries there, too.
Yeah.
I mean, no, I don't. I mean, I think they're underperforming.
Lions putting up points, too.
And you didn't really sell me on the Packers, to be honest with you. Sounds like a bunch of former Jags and Devontae Adams.
I mean, Devontae Adams makes a huge difference.
Trumps everything.
Yeah,
and Scantling has speed, right?
Yeah, I guess. I guess.
So you got somebody fast.
Somebody fast, yeah.
All right, we'll be back. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
Check out Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 weekdays from 3 to 6 to get more moments like this.
But if you're going to be the CEO guy that just trusts your offensive coordinator and everybody else to do their job, when it's not working, you got to step in. I mean, that's what overseers do. That's what management's there for. Like, that's what the CEO's there for. If something's not working, then you got to fix it. Like, you have to know. Like, we can't all be sitting there in the press box and in the stands and on our couches and say, why isn't James Robinson in the game for 16 plays, but the head coach doesn't ask that question?
Holidays are here, and so is fashionable fitness. Get yourself a Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 3 5G. It's a phone that folds in half to literally stand on its own. It's a cool phone. You can pair it with your Galaxy Watch 4 for ultimate wellness and wow factor. You can check health stats, flex personal records. Over 90 activities can be tracked, such as biking, swimming, golfing, and more. So invest in yourself with tech made to crush goals. Holidays open up a Galaxy. Shop it all at Samsung.com. 5G connection and availability may vary. Check with carrier. Products are sold separately.
Are you wasting money on a timeshare you rarely use? Cancel it with Titan Exit Group. Get a free consultation and see how they can stop the never-ending maintenance fees and mortgage payments. In fact, if your timeshare contract is not terminated, you owe nothing, so you have nothing to lose. But those monthly fees. Get legally released from your timeshare, 100% guaranteed. Call now for your free consultation at 800-200-0894. 800-200-0894.
Looking for a great career that can take you places? The Jacksonville Transportation Authority offers miles of opportunity, and the JTA is now hiring bus operators. We offer competitive pay and benefits with a starting wage of $16.43 per hour. We're offering hiring bonuses from $10,000 to $15,000. CDL training is available, and JTA will pay for relocation to Florida. And the Sunshine State has no income tax, so your paycheck goes further. Stop looking for a job. Get yourself a new career with the JTA.
Sick of big banks drawing money out of Jacksonville? Want your money to stay here and help local folks? At 1-to-1 Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union, all of our capital is invested back into Northeast Florida. This includes our all-new hometown credit card. You get all the rewards and perks of a big bank, and every swipe invests back in Jax. Get 2 points for every dollar, up to 50,000 bonus points, 24/7 fraud protection, pay with points, and tons more. Support your community with a hometown credit card from 1-to-1 Financial. Apply at 121fcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA, a proud Visa partner.
You want to feel important.
You want to be part of something bigger.
Something that matters and can help change things.
You want to feel like you belong.
We know. We felt that way too.
And that's why we did something about it.
We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers.
We are normal people just like you.
But our part-time service in the Army National Guard means we get to be more.
When our communities are in need, we get the chance to stand up and do something about it.
We get to serve in our own region and help the people we call neighbors.
From the farmlands of Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia.
The mountains of West Virginia, Kentucky, Tennessee, North Carolina, and Virginia.
To the beaches of Florida, South Carolina, Puerto Rico, and the Virgin Islands.
We are here for our hometowns.
And together, we can make a difference.
Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Florida Army National Guard. Aired by the Florida Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Got a business trip, long weekend, or maybe you just really want to try that new Toyota before you buy it? Then get it all when you rent a Toyota from Arlington Toyota. With easy online reservations and rental rates as low as $19.95 a day, there's nothing stopping you from hitting the open road in a new 2021 Toyota. So rent a Toyota from Arlington Toyota. Try it before you buy it and reserve your rental online at arlingtontoyota.com today.
Small businesses continue to face many challenges resulting from the prolonged pandemic. Business owners are working hard to maintain customers, adjust operations, and retain key personnel. At SCORE, our highly trained counselors are here to offer their assistance. In Jacksonville, SCORE provides services to almost 6,000 individuals annually. In addition to ongoing mentoring, we are conducting webinars on topics that can provide timely advice. Visit jacksonville.score.org today for links with more information.
Hey, Ray Magliozzi here. I'd like to carry more parts at my shop, but I just don't have the room. Every time I go in the back to get wiper blades, I trip over a dusty crate of Honda air filters, then bang my head on some GTO radiator hoses. eBay Motors never has that problem. They stock all the right parts at the right prices. 122 million of them, with everything from new headlights to vintage gear shifters. I can't imagine being able to stock 122 million parts. I mean, where would I get all those shelves? eBay Motors. Let's ride.
Whether on your radio, on your phone, or your smart speaker.
Now playing ESPN Radio.
He's seen guys that's not even going to make the team. He's going to throw for 4,000 yards in a game.
Wake up with Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. Weekday mornings starting at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN2.
Have you started looking into some of those 2022 projects that you might do around the house? How about clearing some of that garage space up? Maybe park the cars in the garage or utilize it for different reasons other than just storing stuff and boxes right on top of the other. Well, here's what we did about 5 or 6 months ago now, and it's been awesome. Easy Garage Solutions. Go to easygaragesolutions.com. The boxes and bins elevated now, hanging from the ceiling nice and neatly. Clears off a ton of space. Then the bikes are hanging on this monkey bar technology right on the walls, can hold a ton of weight, and that creates a lot more space. Easy Garage Solutions. Go to easygaragesolutions.com. Remake your garage with Easy Garage Solutions. easygaragesolutions.com. It's that easy.
Hey, what's up? It's Austin Lane. Check out Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 or ESPN690.com.
I can't tell you the exact time he went back in. That we had to communicate that better in the sideline, but there's no something behind door number 2 why we kept him out.
Nothing behind door number 2. That's becoming a popular thing. That's Urban's way of saying, listen, there's no conspiracy theory here.
Yes.
You know? And, yeah.
+2, door number 2. Yeah. It's all good.
Again, if you're just catching up, Urban Meyer, James Robinson, I mean, it seems like things have been cleared down there, at least from the outside looking in. Trevor Lawrence spoke about it. I think everybody's now at least acknowledged there was something going on. We can debate what the something is, but at least they've acknowledged it. And so now do they move on? It'll be very interesting what happens the last 5 weeks and really what happens in the offseason going forward after this James Robinson story really blew up this week. I can't go any longer without. We've been very heavy. It's been a heavy shows the last couple of days. The Jags stink.
Stress,
James Robinson's got me all emotional.
Yeah.
I can't figure out Urban Meyer. My level of negativity over the last few weeks is just a place I've never even had it before.
It's good to have you on the team.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
I can't live with myself almost anymore with this kind of negativity.
It's not even negativity, man. It's called being a realist, Brent. Welcome.
Well, I like to live in my own little bubble sometimes.
No, for sure, man. For sure. But sometimes reality's got a rule.
Right now, my bubble has Trevor Lawrence around it. That's it.
Trevor Lawrence.
That's all I got.
And some Ted Lasso playing in the background.
That's all I got.
Casey, don't laugh, by the way. Can I say one thing real quick?
Sure.
Remember yesterday you talked about Ted Lasso?
Yeah.
What'd you tell me? What'd you do? You cried.
I cried, yeah.
Shouldn't be crying during comedies, okay? That's all I'm going to say about it.
But why did I cry again?
It's not a comedy, though.
Well, you see, I cried because he got divorced. That was sad.
See, I don't need to get real-life problems in my comedies. It's called a drama, then.
I will say this. I didn't cry.
Okay, well, then it's not a comedy, though. It's a drama.
It's pretty funny.
What is it considered a? Can there be both? Is there a dramatic comedy?
Name one other comedy where you're crying. Like,
dude, it wasn't like full on tears. I just had like a little
crying, laughing.
Okay, but you ever see like Dumb and Dumber? You cried during that? No, because it's a fantastic comedy.
That's just strictly comedy. I'm just asking you, is there like on the IMDb, whatever, is there a
drama comedy?
I don't know.
A dramedy?
A dramedy?
I'm looking
think
right now.
so.
Sports, sports, comedy, drama.
Ha! Aha!
Doesn't mix.
Ted Lasso.
Hey, Ted Lasso.
A little bit of something for everybody.
Pick one. Okay, because you can't be serious and you can't be funny at the same time. So go ahead and pick one. Anyways,
right.
Brent, back to your thing.
Casey texted us something like a couple weeks back or last week.
Okay.
And he wanted to talk about the Rockettes.
Oh, I did do that.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
So what happened in your house with the Rockettes?
So,
first of all, I don't want to sound stupid. I don't know what the Rockettes are. So, here we go.
Oh, boy.
Sorry. Should I know what the Rockettes? I don't know what the Rockettes are. Like, he texted that. I'm like, I don't know what that is.
You could have replied that.
No, because I don't want to sound stupid, but I'm sounding stupid now on live radio. I don't know what the Rockettes were.
Or are. They still are a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't really know the proper term, but they more or less only come out on the Thanksgiving Day parade and the Christmas parade and then the Christmas tree lighting thing, and they pretty much in syncly kick their legs up in the air.
Have you seen the Radio City Music Hall?
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, they do like the.
Do you like legs?
2, 3. Yeah, I like legs. Legs are cool. Legs work. Yeah. Yeah.
So what are you debating with your fiance?
Well, I just said I don't whenever they would come on the screen, she'd be like, "Oh, she likes to watch them." I'm like, "But what? They're so overrated." She's like, "But they're so in sync. It's so cool." I'm like, "Anything can be in sync. You just gotta coordinate it."
Okay. See, I know who they are. I didn't know they had a name.
Oh yeah.
I thought they're just
So
dancers.
I said they were overrated, and I want to know what they do the other 362 days out of the year because they're only on TV on the 2 parades, and then we were watching the Christmas tree thing at their thing, so it made sense.
Okay.
But I just said they were overrated, and she disagreed with me that nothing else could be that in sync.
So this is a New York thing, right? This happens every year in New York.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean
Broadway dancers.
Yeah, I mean they're essentially Broadway.
But I'm saying that's what they do outside of that. They dance on Broadway.
I don't know that.
Oh, I don't know that.
Well, I'm trying to answer the question.
You're telling us, or you're not sounding
this is
very.
my idea. I don't know what they do.
Okay, so
But
we're
the
still at the same
Rockettes,
place.
I don't know.
To Casey's point, the Rockettes really you don't. I mean, the Rockettes are basically Santa Claus.
Okay.
Yeah.
The other 11 months,
they're nowhere to be
they're
found.
nowhere to be found, or Elf on the Shelf.
And my thing is, why are they so world renowned?
You mean they don't have performances in theaters and stuff?
They might,
Yeah.
but they don't go
Doesn't seem
on
like it.
NBC, and you don't see them, and they're not a thing.
It
during that time.
It doesn't get mentioned the other 11 months, but when this month hits, Amanda's like, we got to watch the Rockettes when they're on. I'm like, why?
Which is crazy that I kind of agree with you. The thing about the Rockettes is they were a thing because I believe not only were they talented in their in-syncness, but maybe a little bit more of risque in the 70s and 80s type of thing. That was kind of well, that's different. Well, now you go to any wing place and everybody's dressed like that.
I mean, if you're wondering,
Good call.
if you're wondering what else they've done, they performed at a Super Bowl halftime show in '87, and they performed at Trump's inauguration. So there you go. They performed there.
Okay, so we've narrowed it down to 5 performances.
Well, and also, I love how
And
the
I
website.
have no idea if I'm right about the risque part in the 70s and 80s.
That
I'm
makes
just
sense.
guessing.
That
I'm
fits.
guessing.
Well, and also their website, it lists a bunch of their most famous members: Pat Colgate, Maria Fletcher, Jennifer Jones.
What do they do?
Jennifer Jones.
Jennifer
Yeah.
Jones.
Suzanne Karen, Jane Sherman, Kelty Knight.
Suzanne and Karen?
One of the greats, Kelty Knight, legend.
I don't know.
Who cares?
I just think they're
Yeah,
overrated.
who cares about the Rockettes? Yeah, kind of.
It's out of here,
And I think
man.
you're right, Casey.
They're overrated.
That's it. We solved it.
Oh, they're
Sorry,
impressive.
Amanda.
Don't say they're overrated. That's not nice.
That's the whole argument.
Okay.
Yeah, they're overrated. You
You
didn't even know who they were.
But I know what they do. I know what they do. They kick. You try doing that.
They're synchronized swimming in the
you
Olympics
trying to do
now.
that. Right. Yeah, but not in heels. Not in heels. Not in heels.
Action
There ain't-
Sports Jax on ESPN 690. I
Bunch of
needed that
haters.
levity. The right time for the best water is right now. CGC Water Treatment wants to make sure your family's water is clean, healthy, and tastes great. CGC Water's done that for my family for a handful of years now, and it all starts with a Connecticut system. American-made and installed by the pros at CGC Water Treatment. Contact CGC Water Treatment now for your free water test. Connecticut systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. Remember, if you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Connecticut makes the world's most efficient softeners, twin-tank, non-electric systems that use less salt and water during regeneration. Right now, save up to $600 on select system packages. Financing available with approved credit. Just call CGC Water at 904-552-1242 and ask about the Conway Club, the new service program that will save you money on salt, filters, delivery, parts, and labor. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. Proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars and your local independent Connecticut dealer. You don't have to visit Buffalo to get fresh, delicious, mouth-watering wings made to order. Just go to the Extreme Wings nearest you. Extreme Wings is where the locals have been going for the freshest, never-frozen, world-famous hot wings since 1999. Dozens of flavors to choose from. Full liquor bar, happy hour specials, state-of-the-art TVs on every wall. After the game, after work, for lunch, for dinner. Make it extreme. Check out their award-winning Pit Road wings. Oh, they're so good. They are grilled to perfection with extremely secret seasoning. Looking for a family-friendly sports restaurant that can accommodate large parties? Well, look no further. You can take the entire team to Extreme Wings after the game, where all kids' meals are just $6.99. Come celebrate the grand opening of Extreme Wings' newest location. That's Roosevelt Boulevard near NAS Jax. Extreme burgers, salads, wraps, and of course, world-famous Extreme Wings. Do what the locals do and make it extreme. Extreme Wings' newest location on Roosevelt Boulevard near NAS Jax, or visit a location near you.
Hey, boss, did you notice the holiday decorations on your street?
Oh, yeah, it's getting to be that time of year again.
Yeah, makes me so happy I want to sing.
Uh-oh, I smell a song coming on.
It's beginning to look a lot like Crooksmas.
Nice. Packages near every door.
But the prettiest sight to me...
no safe touch signs, you see.
Do-it-yourself alarms we like much more.
A pair of houses in a row.
Do they have safe touch?
No, no, no.
So crooks like us use Crash and Smash
to get inside and take the cash.
It's beginning to look a lot like Crooksmas.
DIY alarms we love for sure.
Crooks know to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
For the ones finding new ways to ensure the job always gets done. For the ones wearing many hats. For the ones who are hands-on, even from far away. And the ones keeping business moving forward. We are Grainger, offering supplies and solutions for every industry, with 24/7 support and experienced staff at over 250 local branches. Call, clickgrainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? So it's about that time for an oil change? We've got what you need. Right now, you can get 5 quarts of Castrol Edge Full Synthetic or Full Synthetic High Mileage and an STP Extended Life oil filter for just $31.99. And you can get it all fast, your way. Just order online with our free same-day store pickup or next-day delivery.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Start your job today at AutoZone.com. Restrictions apply.
5G is here, but the big carriers want you to sign a pricey long-term contract to get in on the action. Well, no more, because Straight Talk Wireless has rolled out 5G coverage nationwide, with plans starting at just $35 a month with no contract. And get a Samsung Galaxy A32 5G for only $299, all on America's best networks. 5G coverage, 5G phones, less money. Straight Talk Wireless, no contract, no compromise. 5G capable device required, actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station. Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
Yeah, I just evaluated myself as my career went along, and I wasn't as productive in the things I need to be productive, worrying about, which foot the 3 technique stepping with. When there's so much, I thought just this reevaluated myself, and last half of my career at Ohio State, I didn't micromanage everything, because it's also hard to sleep at night when you don't. And guys you have coaches, that's their responsibility. It's not my responsibility, it's their responsibility. Hire a bunch of good people, coach the fundamentals as hard as possible, let them do their jobs. And a lot of times I get in the way of that, I noticed too.
I thought that was an interesting line of questioning today during the news conference to Urban Meyer. And it's a good question, fair question. Is he made his fame and his success on being a micromanaging maniac.
Yeah.
And
you have to be like that in college.
Well, I think you have to be like that in college, but I think you might make the case if that's the way you are in any line of work and that's what makes you good, that's what makes you good. Mm-hmm. So he loosens that up a little bit toward the end of Ohio State is what it sounded like. At least what he said today. He started to peel back a little bit. Now he is absent from the coaching ranks for a while. He comes into the NFL, and he even says, I'm not going to run around the practice field like a maniac because of my health and all this stuff, and I've learned some. But it begs the question, is Shad Khan not getting the guy that was the third winningest coach of all time that won national titles at Ohio State and Florida because he's kind of changed the way and got a little older? And God bless him, this might be the way to do it because of his health.
Yeah.
Like in a serious way. Like I'm not joking about it. Like that seriously might be the way to do it. Mm-hmm. But it also might not make Urban Meyer as good at his job.
Yeah.
Is that a fair thing to wonder? Like, hey, I got Urban Meyer. I've been chasing Urban Meyer. If he ever got back in the game, I'm getting that Urban Meyer that I think is this ultimate coach, one of the best in the country, one of the best of all time. Mm-hmm. But I'm getting this Urban Meyer that's different. And it's kind of like, in a weird way, to me, it's like free agency. And a lot of times you swing and miss in free agency because once you pay the guy doesn't perform like he used to.
Sure.
Why? Because he was hungry, man. He was trying to go get that. That is human nature. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying Urban Meyer's not hungry. I think Urban Meyer wants to win. And I actually believe him when he says the food doesn't taste good and it's hard to eat when he doesn't win. Like, I believe that. He's a competitor.
Facts.
But if you're changing the way you're going about winning,
yeah,
and now it's not working, I think it's fair to wonder if you're just not as good at doing it this way as you were at doing it that way.
Yeah. I think we would both agree that the Urban Meyer you saw at Ohio State and Florida is not the same Urban Meyer that you see here in Jacksonville. Now, I don't know if any college coach truly comes over from the college ranks and gives their exact same system and their spiel when they get to the NFL. Like, I think there is some tailoring, some tinkering that needs to be done when you make that transition. Like, I don't think Matt Rule is the same guy when he was in Baylor. Now, maybe you should be, but I don't think Matt Rule is the same guy from Baylor. I don't think Kingsbury is the same guy from Texas Tech. Hopefully he's not, because he didn't win a lot of games at Texas Tech. So you do change a little bit. But I think in terms of micromanaging, I think you have to do that, right? Like, I'm not expecting Urban Meyer to be this rah-rah guy, right? Like, I don't need Urban Meyer to break down huddles. I don't need Urban Meyer to, pull a Sean McVay and run 50 yards in a dead sprint to give his special teams guy a high five after they down the punt, like in the 2-yard line, when we up by 30 or 40 points. You see that?
Yeah.
Did you see that? That was fun. I mean, that was cool. But hey, man. You're up by 30.
Yeah.
Okay, sure, you got it. I don't need that. Because I truly think, if that's who you are, then by all means be that way. I don't think Urban Meyer wants to do that. I don't think that's really who Urban Meyer is anymore.
And NFL
Maybe
guys don't need that, right?
You don't need that. I always talk about Andy Reid. Andy Reid was never the rah-rah guy. But in terms of being in that offensive meeting, in terms of demanding perfection, he was like a mad chemist. Like, all right, hey, there's this, like Jamal Charles. Your route, I remember saying to me, Jamal Charles, you broke your route off at 4.5 yards. We're asking 5 yards. Jamal Charles, all pro. Kind of, revolutionized the game at the time in terms of being an all-purpose running back. Hey, Jamal Charles, you're half a yard too short.
Get on the details.
But break it off a little bit. That's Andy Reid. Didn't have to yell at somebody. Didn't have to rah-rah somebody. Just said, yeah, do it better. Or else, we'll find somebody else for it that can do it better. So, that's what needs to be done. If you're going to micromanage a half a yard in terms of a route that Jamal Charles did, if you're Urban Meyer, then you could probably micromanage how much a running back plays or doesn't play. Okay? So that, to me, is what I want to see more of, because that's what college coaches do, Brent.
Yeah, I think there's trusting your people, and I'm a big believer in that. I think you trust your people, you hire people. If you're good hiring at people, then you trust your people to do their job and do their job. And sometimes some of those people would rather be micromanaged, to be honest with you. People are different. You can't just blanket that. I mean, I work with a lot of people over the years that some people want to be told what to do like every minute of the day, and other people are like, hey, I'm going to do this today. Yeah. You know what I mean? I mean, that's just people.
Sure.
And so that doesn't mean you're bad at your job, by the way. You might be excellent at your job, but you got to figure out which guy can use the micromanaging and which can't or doesn't need it. And I think a little bit goes for players and motivating players. Players are motivated a little bit differently too.
Yeah.
And so the one difference here, and to your point, you can micromanage and do whatever the hell you want in college because those guys are on scholarship and they're thankful they're on scholarship. They're getting a free education, and they're also not going to usually be insubordinate.
Of course.
It's totally different here. I mean, these guys can ask for a trade if they don't want to be around you. And so that acclimation is a real thing, I think, from a style standpoint for any guy going from college to the NFL. And that's why this move has its critics anyway. And so I think that's got with Urban. But to your point about Andy Reid, something that really stuck out to me the other day in the Manning cast, talking to Aqib Talib,
Aqib Talib.
With the Mannings, is they asked him, they're like, hey, what does Belichick do in the meetings? He's like, he is the defensive coordinator.
Yep.
He's the defensive coordinator. You know why? Because he's a defensive guy. And so he is micromanaging that. Probably micromanages other stuff too, but he is micromanaging that. And that really registered with me, and it has stuck with me these last couple of days. It's like, all right, I understand, Urban, that if you're going to let your defensive guys do their thing, you're not on heavy on that side of the ball. You might be involved, peek in, check in. But if your thing is offense, as we've discussed, and your offense is struggling this bad, man, oh man, get in that film room, get in that planning meeting, get on those coaches and be like, what are you? And I'm not even just talking about James Robinson.
Yeah.
I'm talking about if you want to go up tempo, it's your damn job. You're the head coach. Yeah. Go up tempo. Screw Darrell Bevel.
So this has been the biggest eye opener for me, and it's something that I didn't really, I guess, conceive what would happen, when we're talking about Urban Meyer first signing here. Whether you're in college or you're in the pros, and let's start by saying this. I would do a lot. I'm in a lot of crazy things, right? I love pushing my body, my mind, all that stuff. I would never be a coach in college or the NFL. Never. I think those guys are absolutely insane. There is no way I could ever do that. That is something I'd sit here right now and say, I'll never do it. I can help out. I can come in for a week. But as far as being a full-time football coach, there is no way, whether I'm a head coach or a position coach, because it takes so much time and energy. But when you're a head coach at the college level or the NFL level, you do have to have an ego. And that ego says that, especially in the NFL, put college out of this real quick. Let's go to the NFL with Urban Meyer. If you're in the NFL right now, every single time your team is on the field, and especially your side of the ball, your offense on the field, every false start, every miscommunication, every bad play, if a player gets arrested in public, that falls on you. That is a direct representation of you. That's why I can never do that, because I would be so hell-bent on being perfect. I would never be perfect. It would drive me absolutely insane. That's what I'm surprised about Urban Meyer right now, of how this offense looks and how things are being handled. This falls on him. This is your identity right now. And I don't know Urban Meyer personally. I got to think to have success in Florida, to have success at Ohio State, you have to have ego. It has to be your show. So then to go to the NFL, and I get it, you bring some friends along, they're going to help you in terms of, what the whole atmosphere is like. I understand that. But then to say, they got it. To say, that's not my job. That's insane to me, because this falls on you. You're the head coach. So how can you sit there, just as a person with an ego and say, yeah, I'm not sure if James Robinson's playing or not. Yeah, we're scoring 7 points a game. I never thought Urban Meyer would be able to do that.
Yeah.
I thought he would implode before he was able to do that.
Yeah, and by the way, have such an ego, listen, Bernie Parmalee, he's a nice guy and a good coach potentially, but he shouldn't have that much power on my team.
Yeah.
I've got the power. I mean, there's some ego that has to be like, all right, I'm not leaving that decision up to him. Mm-hmm. He can still coach the techniques and all that stuff, but I'm not leaving that decision up to him. I'll tell you what else has surprised me a little bit about Urban. And so the whole point of this conversation is if he's not the same guy that got the third winningest percentage all time in college football, did Shad Khan not get the guy he thought he was getting? Yeah. Like, I think that's a fair question right now. Because he's a different guy and he's a different cat and this is a different league. And again, from a health standpoint, if that's what Urban has to do, I get it. But I will tell you this, I miss the micromanaging maniac Urban. You know why? Because that guy didn't have losing in his DNA. Mm-hmm. And the other thing that really stands out to me in terms of losing in the DNA is I didn't think this guy could ever even accept or go to sleep at night if he lost to people on the other sideline like David Culley and got walloped by him. Mm-hmm. And Cliff Kingsbury, although I will say I thought Kingsbury coached a very bad game. I think the Jags coached better that game.
Yeah, it wasn't a good look.
Zach Taylor, who they couldn't stop in the second half. Mm-hmm. Vrabel's been around. I mean, I'm not even going to go there with him, but they outcoached Flores. They certainly did.
Sure.
Pete Carroll, you can tip your cap. You kind of envy what they do. That's fine. They outcoached the Bills.
Yeah.
Right? And McDermott. Mm-hmm. Reich, I don't know if they outcoached or not outcoached him. I didn't really feel that, but they certainly didn't outcoach Shanahan. And then Arthur Smith and that group beat you and outcoached you essentially. Yeah. And then 33-year-old or 34-year-old Sean McVay put a whooping on you. Like, as a competitor, I mean, we're going to see a couple more examples of that, by the way. You got Vrabel, you got Culley coming back in, you got Saleh coming in.
And I told you, like, when I was in Houston listening to Sports Jax in Houston, they're already past Culley. They're like, who are going to?
Oh yeah,
who's going to replace Culley?
It's like a done
Culley.
deal, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. And, like, they could care less about Culley.
But I just think as a competitor, man, like, listen, if I lose on a story sometimes in my job over the years, like, all right, you're going to lose on some stories. I feel like we win more than we lose.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
But then if I lose this to that guy, that's who I lost to? Mm-hmm. Now I'm not sleeping.
No, for sure.
Like, I'm serious. Like, that's the way I work in our business. Mm-hmm. I can only imagine how that's magnified and in his world.
See, and that's the thing, Brent. Like, maybe what we see at the press conferences isn't what you're getting behind the scenes. Maybe he is, burning the midnight oil, and that's fine. But at the end of the day, what it looks like is what it looks like. Yeah. And what it represents in you is what it represents. And right now, false starts, drop balls, like, that's all on you. Like, that's a direct representation of you. And, like, one game, like, every team's going to have a bad game. All right? This is the NFL. You're going to have the ups and downs. Sometimes you come out, on all cylinders. Sometimes the Buffalo Bills against Jacksonville Jaguars, right? Like, you're not always going to look 100%. But to consistently look like this on your side of the ball, that's on you.
With, by the way, nothing like drastically changing. Like, try something. Again, you talked up-tempo all last week and never really went up-tempo in the game.
Yeah.
Like, it just never, again, some of that you got to, execute. There's a lot of factors, but, I mean, you had 60 minutes to try to go up-tempo, and you never really went up-tempo in the game.
But don't you get the sense that there's some offensive-minded guys out there with egos where if it would look as bad as it looked, you would go scorched earth on somebody and do something?
I agree.
Like I don't know if you,
I said it Monday, man. It's like you feel like right now you need to take the defibrillator out of this offense. Seriously.
Yeah.
Like, that's not, and you don't want to do that as a coach. You don't want to panic. But guess what? 6 weeks and 6 touchdowns, that's panic time.
That's far past the point of panic.
It's panic time.
Yeah.
And so that's why I figure, again, I do leave out this little hope. I've been consistent with this over the last week. And I think the ray of hope that I have here, because of his resume, is that he is kind of learning on the job with this new style, right? And that he will then go back and be like, that didn't work, you're out of here, okay, that was pretty good, we're going to keep this, we're going to enhance this, we're going to do this. And now maybe he's very good at that. And listen, I understand there's doubt about that. I get it, and there should be. Mm-hmm. But I'm just keeping this little ray of hope that we haven't seen him do that yet, all right? Mm-hmm. And I tried to give you guys some evidence of, in year 2, sometimes things get better for a lot of programs and teams.
Yeah.
And because you do learn some things. And you mentioned it from a player standpoint, but I'm talking from a coaches and this new role standpoint. I'm holding out hope that there's that happens and that Urban can still turn this thing.
Yeah.
But I would love a little bit of evidence of it.
I mean, I would hope so, man. I really hope so. Because, on the defensive side of things, is it perfect? Absolutely not. I mean, you faced a good Rams team, gave up way too many points. But, at least you see, okay, that Seahawks game, right? Kind of got embarrassed a little bit. Despite what you say about the second half, you got embarrassed. Well, then what happens after that? Then you come back, and I guarantee Cullen's throwing chairs and hitting chalkboards, whatever the case may be. But,
that's a
he
great
got a better
sign.
Yes, because that's your identity.
They coached their ass off that game.
Yes, because that's your identity. I guarantee, Joe Cullen is probably sick to his stomach when he gives up over 100 yards rushing.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And come hell or high water once again, he will find a way to get over that. So, at least on the defensive side of things, it never looks perfect per se, and sometimes it looks really bad, but at least there's progress where it's okay, well, we're going to come back from that because we have to. You haven't come back from anything on offense.
You really haven't. I have yet to say you've coached your ass off on offense.
No.
I just don't see that. But you have seen it on defense. I mean, you take their first month, 6 weeks on defense, and this even giving up the stuff to the Rams. Yeah. Listen, the Rams are ultra talented and way better than you.
Sure.
Okay? That's going to happen in the NFL. They're just better. The gap is there. And so you're going to have those games. But if you really take the last 5 or 6 weeks of their defense, there's some things to really like and see in the development of Tyson Campbell and other guys as well. So you can buy that. You can't on the offensive side. And I need micromanaging maniac Urban Meyer these last 5 weeks to try to fix that on the offensive side. Even if it's for a couple weeks. It doesn't have to be for 365 days. But for a couple weeks, he's got to dive in there, in my opinion. Maybe he's doing it. But I think he's got to be the guy that jumpstarts this thing and changes what's going on. We got Steven on the line. Let's get him in before the break. Steven, what's happening here on a Wednesday?
Hey, how you guys doing today?
Good. What up, man?
Hi, I wanted to get your opinion on something, Austin. It's something I heard Urban talk about in his press conference, and I want to get your player input on if it might help at all when he talked about having the analysts do screenshots and little clips and everything of the players when they were at their best playing, and then going to each player in positional group and showing them, hey, I need this out of you because it's on tape. I've seen you play this good before.
Mm-hmm.
I need this guy back. I mean, could that influence and motivate, he's right, I've played this good before. I need to keep at it.
Yeah, and I mean, great question. So in terms of that, yeah, obviously anytime you can get film, pictures, ocular proof, as you would call it, to say, I like that one. You all right? You all right? You all right?
Holy cats.
I just blacked out a little bit. What happened?
Listen, so did I, and I was at the eye doctor today, so this ocular thing is really registering.
Did you get the pupils?
Yeah, can you tell?
No. I mean, I'm could you see? Is it hard seeing?
Oh, yeah, it was for the last few hours.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's the
I'll talk about it more in a little bit.
Okay,
it was a wild experience.
For that one. Okay,
but thank you for that ocular definition.
Okay, ocular proof. So anytime you can see it in front of you, yes, that helps. Now, keep in mind, guys are going to be banged up a little bit. Guys aren't going to be 100% as opposed to maybe week 1 and week 2. So it might look a little different. But yeah, I'm absolutely a big fan of Urban Meyer paying attention to the details, because the details is where you win and lose. So if that's the case, if that's what's transpiring, that's a step in the right progress.
Well, to Steven's point, and is it Steven's point? See that in Wisconsin?
Okay. Yeah, I see.
Just to bring this whole franchise full circle.
Yes.
What he's referencing is Urban Meyer did say. He said it on his coach's show yesterday, but he also said it again with James, that he pulled him in and he had one of the analysts cut up 15 plays from the Tennessee game. He thought the Tennessee game was where he was getting second level. The ball protection was great. All those things were going on.
Sure.
And so this was like positive reinforcement, visualization. Hey, man, this is what we're not seeing. My guess is this conversation was like, listen, yeah, you got to take care of the football. And we're going to put you on the sideline if you don't take care of the football. Should we put you on for 20 plays? Probably not. But here's why we're hesitating to put you back in, is because we're not seeing the guy we saw against Tennessee. You don't look like you're fully healthy. You're not hitting the hole as quick. You're not getting the second level as quick. Again, I'm not saying he's right about it. I'm just thinking that's probably what the conversation consisted of. Hey, analysts, give me 15 cut-ups of James so we can show him. And that's what he did. And then he said, you know what? We're going to start doing that with other guys, too. And we're going to show them. And you know what? There's some things over the years you're kind of like, what the hell are you doing from a coaching staff standpoint? We talked about it a little bit yesterday at Top Golf with Josh about some of the things, like from watching movies to other things that you do, TED Talks, do they really work, all this stuff, and every coach tries to play them. This is one that I can see that. Like if I'm struggling, I want to go back and see where I was good.
So
right?
This used to be a classic Joe Cullen staple in our defensive line room. Every single year I played for Joe Cullen, whether it was the first day of training camp, whether it was halfway through the season, he would always start a meeting off by showing us clips of what we have to do. Now, some of the clips were us, in the preseason, or us, making a great play. Some of the clips were from his time in Detroit. Some of his clips were from, all over the place. But he would always show clips, and this was a daily thing. This
positive?
Positive.
Okay.
Yeah. And this is what it has to look like. This is what it has to look like. And then if we had a rough game, then he would bring those clips back and say, "Why aren't we doing this? Why aren't we doing this?" And he would always compare it to, and I forgot what this dude's name was, but he's a Detroit line, undrafted free agent. Played a couple years in Detroit, I guess. But Joe would always go back to that guy because he would say, if I can make this guy do it, who nobody, took a shot on except me, you guys can do it. And he would always have that positive reinforcement with us of what it looks like. So, yeah, I mean, you hear Urban Meyer talking about that. That's an old Joe Cullen thing for sure.
Yeah, and again, I'm not saying he's a genius for bringing this up.
No, I mean, I'm sure a lot of coaches do
But
this.
it might be the right time of the year. Like you talk, part of your job as a CEO, micromanager or not, is to push the right buttons at the right times.
Yeah.
And I did get the sense, again, this is positive Brent, trying to spin back to positive me and sunshine and rainbows a little bit, but I did get the sense listening to that today and listening to the talk is that they are now saying, let's just see what we do over 5 games.
Yeah,
let's just forget about all this other stuff. Now, can you do that? I don't know. But in doing so, they're going to take these clips and they're going to show, hey, Trevor, look at where you were your best this year.
Yeah.
Hey, Marvin Jones, look where you were your best this year.
Yeah.
Hey, Cam Robinson and James Robinson.
Yeah.
And now I don't know if it will work, but it's a refocus, right? Mm-hmm. Which is hard to do in a long season, especially when it's a miserable one.
Yeah.
And so I kind of like the tack they're taking right now. And again, we'll see if it works. I have no idea if it will work.
Yeah.
But it gives you a little something. At least they're doing something different.
Yeah.
And by the way, they'll give James Robinson the ball more, and that will be different too.
You would hope. I can't wait to hear about your eye doctor visit.
Oh, yeah, I'll tell you about it.
That's big news.
I mean, I've never been. First time.
Oh, really?
You been to eye doctor?
Of course. Because when I fight, I have to get my eyes
you
checked.
have to go.
Yeah. You
And
ever been to eye doctor?
Let's think about the fact that he's here now, and he said he was having trouble with his vision.
Yeah, so then you drove.
I didn't say that.
Fine.
But.
Oh, okay.
We'll be back. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert Forecast on ESPN 690.
Mix of clouds and sun today, scattered afternoon and early evening showers developing and spreading from west to east. We still reach the upper 70s before the rain moves in. We'll drop into the 50s overnight. Partly sunny, not as warm tomorrow, but still a nice day. Your Thursday high in the lower 70s. Friday will be partly sunny, back up to near 80 degrees and near record warmth for Saturday. Partly sunny skies and above 80 degrees. With your First Alert Forecast, I'm Action News Jax, Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds, where the anniversary sale's been extended through Christmas Eve. Save up to 41% store-wide. Now is the time to get an estimate on replacement windows. American Window Products of Jacksonville is a high-volume dealer, offering a huge selection of products to keep your costs low. New windows from American Window Products can lower your energy costs and increase your curb appeal and security, all without breaking the bank. Call American Window Products for a free estimate at 904-667-0873 or visit AmericanWindowProducts.com.
Looking for a great career that can take you places? The Jacksonville Transportation Authority offers miles of opportunity, and the JTA is now hiring bus operators. We offer competitive pay and benefits with a starting wage of $16.43 per hour. We're offering hiring bonuses from $10,000 to $15,000. CDL training is available, and JTA will pay for relocation to Florida. And the Sunshine State has no income tax, so your paycheck goes further. Stop looking for a job. Get yourself a new career with the JTA.
Come to Monahan Jewelers' 44th annual holiday sale now with up to 30% off on GIA certified diamonds and up to 40% off our entire store. Certified diamonds, gemstones, engagement rings, diamond studs, designer brands. We're not a big box store. We're your local family jeweler with an amazing hand-picked inventory for every budget. And with interest-free financing, enjoy beautiful jewelry with a low monthly payment. Support your local family jeweler this Christmas with up to 40% off our entire inventory. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, open 7 days a week in December.
I'm Marcus Roberts, a jazz pianist and a proud graduate of the Florida School for the Deaf and Blind, a state public school available at no cost to eligible K-12 Florida students who are deaf, blind, or both. FSDB prepares students for a lifetime of success, allowing them to do more, be more, and achieve more. For more information, call 800-342-3732 or visit www.fsdbk12.org.
Know what time it is? It's time to get moving. Cora Physical Therapy has opened a new state-of-the-art clinic in Kingsland on Boone and Haddock, and will be opening another one soon in Brunswick. With Cora, you have access to licensed, passionate clinicians, only the most innovative equipment, and life-changing therapies. Cora is all about treating everyone right now. It's your move. Visit coraphysicaltherapy.com for a free screening. No physician's referral required. Same-day appointments available.
Do you consistently outperform your peers? Do you enjoy setting challenging goals and then exceeding them? And do you want a job where you can determine the size of your paycheck? If so, you could be suited for a career in advertising with Cox Media Group. Because we're searching for self-motivated professionals to join the advertising sales team in our North Florida office. This media consultant position requires an outgoing, confident, and driven person who'll seek out business owners in North Florida and help grow their businesses with innovative marketing solutions. The ideal candidate will have a basic knowledge of both traditional and digital advertising. Cox Media Group Jacksonville offers a team environment based on excellence and customer-focused selling with unlimited earning potential, the best benefits in the industry, ongoing training, and advancement opportunities in markets nationwide. To apply for the media consultant position, email your resume to jaxjobs@cmg.com. That's JAXJOBS@cmg.com. Or call 245-8732, 245-8732.
Though no longer little, teens still need a lot of love. Yet teens in foster care have a harder time finding it, as 82% of foster families are home to kids 12 or younger. You can positively impact a teen's life as a foster parent. With help from Family Support Services of North Florida, you provide patience, love, and understanding, and Family Support Services will offer specialized training, resources, and a community of support. Take the next step at foster-now.org. That's foster-now.org.
Life always has its challenges, but if you feel hopeless or suicidal, you don't have to face it alone. I'm Dr. Christine Caulfield, CEO of LSF Health Systems, and our free Link to Life program can help. We'll connect you with a care coordinator who will work with you to build better tomorrows. Please take suicide off the table. Contact Link to Life at 904-582-3252 or visit lsfhealthsystems.org.
Hey, it's Brent Martineau from Action Sports Jax. Did you know you can watch our radio show? Yeah, video of a radio show. Just search ESPN 690 Jax on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Or follow me on Twitter at BrentASJax. Watch the show live weekdays from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. or listen on ESPN 690.
Yeah, I should be more aware of rotation of running backs and who's at receiver, and I should be, and I am to a degree. But at the same time, Tyson Campbell had a hip flap. I remember I was spending we were down corners, like getting close to none. So I remember a lot of my focus was on, is can we get Tyson Campbell back in time, and then a lot of stuff happens on the sideline.
Hey, by the way, that's Urban Meyer talking about all the stuff, and listen, I get a little bit of that. I get a little bit. There's a lot going on, and you might be talking about other things, and that's part of being a head coach. That's why that's a $9 million job or $10 million job or whatever he's getting paid. I mean, it's not an easy job. Nobody's sitting here and saying it's an easy job. Mm-hmm. But it's also a little hard to believe that Darrell Bevell, Brian Schottenheimer, Bernie Parmalee, or any of the other 50 coaches that are on the staff didn't notice that. Where's James?
Yeah.
And by the way, he's not in a blue tent. He's not in the locker room, and he's not being worked on by a trainer. Is everything okay? Hey, Urban, line 9, Urban. So I get it that he has a lot going on, potentially. I understand that. But 20 plays is a lot.
I know.
16 plays last week is a lot. So it's not a good enough excuse, in my opinion. Even it doesn't always have to come from him. Somebody else has to step up and say something, And if you're just jumping in with us, first 90 minutes of the show, we've kind of put the James Robinson story to the side. But the biggest thing for me today is I think they have too. But they addressed it. The Jags addressed it. Coach and player addressed it. Had a meeting yesterday. And the quarterback, the rookie quarterback who wears the C, is a captain, addressed it. verbally enough to say, listen, this guy's got to play. He said he voiced his opinion on it. And so we'll see what happens Sunday and going forward. But I don't think it's a done story. But I think for now it's actually at least a squash story. And we'll see what happens next. What you really hope here is that, one, James goes out there, feels good, is healthy. It feels like he is getting healthier, and certainly last week didn't hurt him much. He only had 8 carries. But he's confident, and he doesn't fumble the ball again, because 3 times in 3 games would be then a thing. I mean, the story's going to turn if it's 3 times in 3 games. But then goes out and has a really nice day and validates all the conversation about this. And this isn't about the Jags staff looking bad and James looking good, but it's like it just would be – we all know what should happen. We all feel we're right on what should happen. For some reason, they didn't. And it's not about right or wrong, but I hope he just goes out and validates it all and been like, hey, maybe he's got some pent-up frustration and delivers a big game against the Tennessee Titans. That would be really nice if it happens, but we'll see. I mean, there's a lot to be written on this story still, I think, over the last 5 weeks. And again, maybe the most important thing, January, February, March in the offseason, see where this thing lands with the Jacksonville Jaguars, with the staff, with James Robinson. Brent Martineau, Austin Lane, Casey Kurtz here on a Wednesday. It's like the first rain we've had around here in like forever.
Seems like it.
Yeah, feels that way.
I think it is. Yeah, there was a tornado warning or something out in like the Baker County area.
There was, yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember rain in a long time.
No, it's been a while.
Yeah.
We need it.
I think we do need it.
It's good for the crops.
It's good for the crops. Very good.
I don't know. We in Jacksonville, we got crops here. I mean, that's what my grandpa used to always say.
I got so much
Central
in
Wisconsin.
Jacksonville we have crops, but in the state of Florida we got.
Yeah, it's good. It's good for some kind of crops.
It's amazing how much land there is in the state of Florida if you drive
You're
through.
not lying. Like, even when you fly in the, like, the airport, you really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of just swamp and
Wait, you know
stuff.
what else? When you did this, did you look out the window flying to California?
No.
A lot of desert, man.
I
Right?
was sitting on the
Talking about
aisle,
the desert.
I mean, it's amazing.
Talking about that desert.
It's funny, like you get these questions from the kids. Like you used to do this probably to your parents too, and you'd ask like these super like generic questions, and those questions are like the hardest to answer. It's like, so what? I think Ty said like, so what was all that land being used for down there? Like farming? And so I was like, yeah. Like for what? I'm like, I have no idea. Like I don't know, soybeans.
Ask your teachers.
Maybe it's like sod. I don't know. There looks like a whole bunch of sod fields.
Ask your teachers,
Like,
man. For real.
But
it also makes you. But it
Google
makes you,
it.
Yeah.
We couldn't do that when we asked our
But
parents.
no, for sure. You just got. I don't know. Leave me alone.
We just made it
60
up.
minutes is on. Like, what are you
60
doing?
minutes is on.
But it makes you appreciate, like, even like Las Vegas. Like, in case you were just there, so you can appreciate it.
I saw that, yeah.
But yeah, you have literally an oasis in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the desert, and then you get Las Vegas. Like, it's crazy just how someone had a vision and be like, hey, you know what? Let's take all this sand and let's make something crazy out of it.
Yeah, you should watch Yellowstone.
Is that what it is?
My dad's a big nature guy, so when we went to Vegas, we went and looked at like rocks or something.
Did you go? Did you go in Red Rock? Did you
Actually,
go?
yes.
You did?
Yeah.
Dude, how awesome! It's fun. You're not into that, are you?
It rocks.
Oh man,
My
it's
dad
cool,
loves it though, so I was like, all right, let's do it. But anyway, to your point, when we were done with the rocks, and you're literally just driving through like big rocks, and then you come around the corner, and boom, there's Vegas.
Yep.
And then it's like the rest more rocks.
So when I was when I was in Vegas for like my UFC for like the Dana White's Contender Series, I had to do like my promo stuff.
Yeah.
For a couple days, so we had some free time. So yeah, we went to Red Rock and actually got to climb up some stuff and check it out.
So is that cool. Red Rock different than like Denver Red Rock?
I believe so. Yeah.
Because like they have Red Rock in like Sedona and
for
Arizona.
sure.
That's but it is pretty. It's pretty neat.
Yeah. Oh, it's
for
fun.
About 5
man.
minutes.
Yeah, you guys are into it. You guys are in touch with nature, huh? Not really into it.
I mean, I think it's wild, some of that stuff, but it's just like, okay, what else you want me to do with this?
Explore, man.
See, explore what? What do you want me to feel it?
Yeah, man. If you got to feel it, feel it.
And
no,
that's-
just take it all in, Brent.
Well, I do that, but like 5 minutes.
You got to sit and reflect a little bit.
Yeah,
Well, I could do that. I'm a little me time.
Yeah, a little meditation time.
My dad's very bad at like he wanted to like go explore stuff, but right before he always does this. He's like, oh, by the way, like watch out for snakes, and I'm terrified of snakes. So I was like, we're not getting out.
Oh yeah,
I'm not getting out of the car now.
There's snakes there. Oh yeah, there's snakes.
He's like, yeah, just kind of be aware. They're everywhere. I was like, okay, we're not. I'm not getting
I'm out.
I'm like, I'll just stay right here in the car then.
By the way, your dad and I are friends on Facebook.
Yeah, he told me. What's up with that?
He asked me.
Yeah, I know.
Not even as cool as my wife or my mom, but like it's your dad, so it's cool. Are you friends with mom on Facebook or not?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, see, it's not as cool as that, but
Yeah, my dad's a big Facebook guy. He's like, I'm friends with Austin on Facebook. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's
Yeah.
like, Austin Lane. I'm
well,
like,
I mean, he had the last name. It checked out. Of course, got to add him, man.
That's it.
well, we're not friends.
Hello, Dad.
I know we're not. Well, that's not. I mean, I don't add people. If you add me,
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah, you
confirm.
better- I'm the same way.
I don't add people.
I do not
I don't
add.
got time for that.
I never add.
No, I've never. I haven't.
Okay,
added
so then
somebody
who
like-
added? Then who added who?
Your dad added me.
No, I'm over my dad. I'm talking about you two because I assume
I'm
you
not
two
sure
are
we're
friends,
Facebook
right?
friends.
Oh, are we Facebook friends?
I don't know.
No
I have
way
no
you're
idea.
not friends. That'd be hilarious.
I know,
I don't know, man.
Marcel Robinson and I are not because he hasn't asked me yet.
Marcel and I think Marcel added me. Maybe are we Facebook friends?
How can you tell?
I mean, it says if you type
would
it in.
say you're
Okay,
friend.
yeah, Brad,
Yeah, we
we're
are.
Facebook, yeah, we're Facebook friends.
Uh-oh.
Only 1,000 though, huh? Only 1,000 friends on Facebook.
Is that all I have?
Those are rookie numbers. Yeah, those are some rookie numbers there.
Do you have a lot of friends on Facebook?
Pushing at least 4K, right? I think.
Really?
There's
Yeah.
no way
Is this
you
your
know all those
professional
people.
page?
I don't.
Yeah, 'cause my
this
dad.
is
You don't know my dad.
I'd like to get to know him. I think he's a cool dude.
He likes rocks. If you guys like rocks together,
I
that'd
mean,
be something.
he posted pictures of your hike. It looked pretty. I was jealous. I don't know how many friends I actually have, and that's not something to brag about. 3,242. There you go.
Wow.
So just to be clear, when I brag about my Twitter likes, it's a problem. But now Facebook friends, we're all good. Okay, very good. Very good.
Kidding.
I know it.
I'm kidding. It's a joke.
I've got to see how many people.
By the way,
look how
my
many
Trevor
people,
Lawrence
have
video
asked
popped
me to
off.
be a friend.
Oh, do you
Look at this.
do you want to go to my friend requests?
I don't know. I mean, how many
'Cause
is that? Who are you people?
Oh, that's a lot of people. Brent, you're big time in people. I like it.
Honestly, I just don't check Facebook that much.
No, neither do I, man. I'm never
What?
on there. Yeah, it's just a friend request. It doesn't say how many friend requests you have, does it?
All right, so
Okay, whatever.
I did something for the first time ever.
Yeah, what
I
the
went to
heck,
the eye
man?
test. So I went to the Atlantic Eye Institute. Not an endorsement yet.
Okay.
But they were fantastic. I will say that.
All righty. They don't need to spend any money
Here
then.
we go. Very friendly. Great lobby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was fantastic.
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
They're not going to spend $1 on this
It
station.
wouldn't be bad, would it? Okay.
It was eye-opening.
Okay.
It was
Clever. I see what you did
yeah.
there.
Okay.
It was actually it was a fascinating process. I'm serious. I've never been.
Can I ask how?
Well, I'm sure I was as a kid. Like, you know,
Okay.
I'm sure I went and got my eyes checked here or there, but maybe part of a physical.
Sure.
But never to like it. I don't ever remember going to I told them this. I said, I've been to the eye doctor one time in college.
Yeah.
At Ashland. I was lifting weights.
Okay.
And a sliver of the bar, the metal, got stuck, fell off the bar or whatever, and into my eye. And so I had to have that removed.
Nope.
And it was no damage done or anything.
Okay.
I got lucky probably, but it was seriously, there was a piece of metal in my eye. And so
That's
Wow.
terrifying.
that's the
insane.
only time in my adult life
Yeah.
that I've been to the eye doctor.
Okay.
And so I'm at the doctor getting a physical like 6-7 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, I'm telling you, between 42 and 44, your eyes are going to go.
Yeah.
It's like clockwork.
Yep.
It happens.
Yep.
And so, late at night now, the last year and a half or so,
Yeah.
my eyes, I mean, things get a little fuzzy, like the bottom line, ESPN, or the teleprompter even.
Well, and especially because I feel like you put your eyes through a lot of stress because you're always looking at screens and you're always reading. So
They
you're
said that.
putting your eyes through a lot
In
of
fact, that's part of the thing I learned today from
Optometrist
Atlantic
Austin.
Eye Institute.
Yeah.
The Bill told me, he was checking things first, getting me all tested out.
Mm-hmm.
He said, you blink 20 times a minute.
Huh.
Right? But because when you're looking at a screen, you blink 6 to 8 times a minute.
Really?
And so your eyes dry out.
Sure.
Because of that. And that's basically, that was the end story of me, is that I went all through the tests. Basically, I have 20/20 vision.
Nice.
Still.
Good.
But at the drying of the eyes, later at night. And I got some prescription glasses because for later at night, or if I went driving at night, kind of like an optional use thing. But it was just a wild deal to go through it and get tested like that. And you test for a lot of different things.
Of course.
But
yeah.
I didn't know it was that involved. I just think it's pretty, like I've been through
they're
physicals.
super thorough now.
You know, I've had MRI before. I've had x-rays before. Never gone through like an eye test. And I even asked them like, do people come to get eye tests like all the time?
Mm-hmm.
And I guess eventually, yeah, they do is the answer.
Yeah.
Because most people, especially if you have benefits or whatever, will cover like an eye test.
For sure. Yeah, I get 3 this year.
So, and you do it before each fight.
Before each fight, yeah, because it's like required of the commission that you do that.
Yeah.
Because obviously, if you have like a detached retina or something, that's
what they're checking on. They're not checking for how good your eyesight is.
No, not at all. They're checking for any like abnormalities or like irregularities. Let me go ahead and say as many hard words as possible in one sentence.
I already had somebody said, what did they say to me? After your ocular word, somebody
Ocular
check
proof.
the vocab cheat sheet written on Austin's hand.
Ocular proof. There it is, man.
It's a good one.
There it is, man. Obviously, the worst part of that process, I think we both agree, is when they dilate your pupils.
Yes, well,
'Cause
that's what happened.
It burns a little bit first.
First, it's
Whoa.
a stinger.
Stings. You never had this before, Casey?
Nah, dude, no one's ever touching my eyes.
Man.
That's wrong.
Don't say never. Give it some time. Yeah, so they put these drops in your eyes, and it burns. Like, it's going to burn a little bit. I'm like, okay, it's burning a lot. So I don't know if I'm a wuss, or I don't know if you put something's wrong.
That's the thing. I was checking in, like, okay, now you can open your eyes. I was like, I can't.
No, for sure. I'm in pain. Every single time, because I go to the same person, and every time they're like, okay, this is going to be a little discomfort here, right here. Don't worry. I'm like, it hurts. It's burning. I want to do something. Yeah. So, but they do that, and then all of a sudden, probably 30 minutes or 25 minutes go by, and then you can't see anything in front of you. Right? And then, but you can see distances, like far away, but in front of you can't see anything.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it was longer than I thought.
Yeah.
It was like a while. It was. I mean, again, I could see a little bit, but even
no,
like
you can drive.
Like,
Truth be told, you can actually drive.
Yeah, but Olivia actually texted me. She's like, "Hey, I've got ideas for the countdown to kickoff show on Sunday." I was like, "I can't see them.
Yeah, you can't see anything.
I'll check them later."
Yeah, you can't see
I
anything.
couldn't see it.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, "This is odd." And so then I was home for about an hour before the show, and I'm like, all right, I'll do this. No, wait, I can't. I can't see very well right now. No, I'll do this. I can't see very well. I was like, screw it. I'll just sit on the couch for 20 minutes.
For sure. Yeah. Because you can't watch
And
TV.
actually, I did. I closed my eyes for about 10 minutes.
Yep.
And then it was a lot better after that. So it was a pretty wild experience. Though.
Yeah.
But you should go get your eyes checked.
No, you got
What
to.
I learned is, because I was peppering them with questions.
Of course.
And then, you know what else is funny? I was thinking of this. So I think it's Dr. Allegretti, if I have her name right. She's very nice. And so she does like the intense observation or whatever. I don't know, testing. And so she has an assistant in the room.
Yep.
And the whole time she's saying these words like I have no idea what they are, right? She is like saying stuff. She might as well speak a foreign language. Like she's saying this stuff like, what are these words? And so the whole time you're like, okay, am I going to go blind? Or am my eyes okay?
Yeah.
Like, there's that moment of doubt for like 5 minutes while they're looking and saying all these words. Like, I don't know if my eyes are good or bad.
No, for sure. Yeah, and then I mean, it's a serious thing too because it's kind of your job. You have to read things. So
it was pretty wild.
Yep.
It was kind of the same thing actually. Kaylee went to the doctor this morning to get results from an MRI.
Yeah.
And we saw her elbow up on while we were waiting for the doctor. It was up on the screen.
Yep.
And so we're like, okay, does that look good or bad? Is the white stuff, the black stuff,
it's so
the
hard
this
to tell.
stuff?
It's so
and, like,
hard
we have
to
no
tell.
idea.
Yep.
And that was clean, so that was good. But
fantastic. Did she had to do like the whole tube and everything?
I guess so. She did that last night.
Did she handle that okay?
Yeah, she was fine.
Because that's rough.
I had a hard time doing it.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's the medical report. Sponsored by Nobody Yet. Here on Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
Men, did you know that over half of all males suffer from ED or PE?
Ladies, your man should talk to the specialists at Prime Men's Medical Center.
If Viagra, Cialis, or Levitra have let you down,
Men are now lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer, and it's affordable.
for a private consultation at Prime Men's Medical Center, call 904-664-8217.
See results on your first visit, guaranteed, or pay nothing.
Call 904-664-8217.
Quitting nicotine isn't easy, which is why Tobacco-Free Florida offers free tools and services like free 2-week starter kits of Quit Aids. We're also trying out music to help motivate smokers to quit.
Not another cigarette would be late. Now there's someone living tobacco-free. It's you.
Wow. Okay. You know, maybe we'll just stick to the ways we know work. Visit tobaccofreeflorida.com or call 1-877-YOU-CAN-NOW for free nicotine patches.
Hey, Bruiser, you ready to do the old holiday shopping routine?
Yeah, I got all the houses picked out.
Alrighty.
Hey, you know, I almost feel sorry for these folks.
Oh, don't go soft on me now. That's why they pay insurance.
Okay, so you promise those kids will just lose their bikes for a little while?
Yeah, I promise. Whatever.
All right, then let's sing our favorite holiday song.
Yeah, we're making our list, checking it twice.
Looking for houses with things that are nice. Bruiser and Browser are coming to town. We're filling our truck, we won't leave much.
Avoiding those houses that God safe touch.
Bruiser and Browser are coming to town.
crime does increase during the holidays. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, owner of Safe Touch Security Systems. Our new Safe Touch two-way communicator saves lives and prevents property loss every day. Our average response time is an incredible 14 seconds. Nobody can match our servers or our price. You have my guarantee on it.
Call SafeTouch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
For 50 years, Taylor has been a leader in caring for the elderly. Providing quality, compassionate care has always been our mission. At Taylor Care Center and Taylor Manor, our recipe for success has always been our exceptional team. They work tirelessly to ensure that your family member gets the best care possible. When residents were not able to spend time with you and your family, our team stepped up to celebrate birthdays, anniversaries, and special occasions. Our dedicated staff is among the best in the business. Taylor Residents, providing safe, compassionate care every day.
Hey, I'm Carrie.
And I'm Bruce. We're the owners of Koala Insulation. Don't let the milder temperatures lull you into complacency. Fuel prices will continue to rise, as will your utility bills. Call us today and take advantage of our fall prices. We don't quote over the phone or just poke our heads up in your attic. We do a full evaluation to include attic ventilation needs as well as insulation.
Give us a call at 904-679-6282 or online at koalainsulation.com.
You love Zoom for video meetings? Now, choose Zoom to power your phone communications too. Zoom Phone works seamlessly within the Zoom app as your business phone system. Zoom Phone's secure HD audio and enterprise-grade reliability keep you connected to your teams and your customers. And it's easy to use on mobile, desktop, or desk phone. Empower your workforce with Zoom Phone. Zoom, how the world connects.
At Napa, we keep things moving. If it has wheels and an engine, we help keep it on the road. And if it's on the road, we have parts for it. And if you need a part, you can get it fast, like same-day pickup or next-day delivery fast. At Napa, when we're not thinking about cars, we're thinking about the people who drive them. Because when it comes to serving you and our community, our motor never quits. That's Napa know-how. Same-day pickup and next-day delivery available at participating stores and on in-stock items only.
For the ones finding new ways to ensure the job always gets done. For the ones wearing many hats. For the ones who are hands-on, even from far away. And the ones keeping business moving forward. We are Grainger, offering supplies and solutions for every industry, with 24/7 support and experienced staff at over 250 local branches. Call, clickgrainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Join ESPN 690 on March 5th for the Gate River Run. Registration for the 15K, 5K for charity, Junior River Run, and the Brooks Rehabilitation Mile Challenge is now open at GateRiverRun.com. Training information is available on the website. See you at the starting line.
Guys, we are Miami. We are the U. And every time you hear that, every time you see that on a shirt, on a commercial, at a game, that's got to mean everything. And we got to show it in everything that we do.
I'm assuming that was Cristobal.
Yep.
I caught the last half of it, but sure sounded like it. We haven't really talked a lot about all these different hires. Mm-hmm. We talk. The process is weird, but it is what it is, right? I mean, it felt slimy to me. I think we talked about that on Monday or Tuesday. Mm-hmm. But now that it's a done deal, who made the best move? Miami gets Cristobal. Mm-hmm. Florida gets Napier. Mm-mm. LSU gets Kelly. Mm-mm. USC gets
Lincoln
Riley. Mm-hmm. Oklahoma Venables. Is that a done deal? Mm-hmm. I think it's a done deal. Notre Dame.
Mm-hmm. Marcus Freeman.
Thank you. There's a lot. There's a lot here.
There is.
And we'll leave like the Virginia Techs and everybody, okay? Because sorry, Hokies, but who cares? Am I missing any? Well, now Oregon has to find a coach.
Yeah.
Is there anybody else left to find one? Big time.
No.
So who made the best move?
I think USC, because Lincoln Riley. Like, if you give me a list of those coaches, and in terms of who's leaving, who's staying, I would have said Lincoln Riley's staying for sure.
Yeah.
There's no way you're going to coax Lincoln Riley out of Oklahoma, especially going to the SEC. Why would
going
he
to
leave?
the NFL, maybe.
Or the NFL, too. Why would he ever leave? Well, You got him. He left, and now it's an exciting story. Excuse me. So I would say Lincoln Riley for sure.
Yeah, I would agree. Lincoln Riley.
Really?
Yeah, I think he's the best actual coach of the coaches there. And then you now pair it with a place that's should be easy to recruit at. He's a good recruiter. You're going to have the easiest path to the championship. But don't sleep on the Miami hire because I think that's the second best because he's such a great recruiter. He obviously played for Miami. Mm-hmm. And the ACC is wide open at this point because Clemson has apparently decided to take a step back. So I think Miami's, if he can recruit there, which I'm sure he will, ACC's wide open. That's a good job.
Well, not only that, but they're losing Venables, and they're also going to lose Elliott, it looks like. I think he could end up at the Virginia job, I think somebody said, or maybe Duke, one of the two. So they might be losing the staff, and that's hard to replace. And by the way, Joe Brady looks like he could get the job down in Miami with Cristobal.
Ooh.
Is it? I think that's what I've seen. Like the latest rumors, there might be some interest in there.
That'd be interesting.
We didn't really talk about that. Joe Brady fired so quick. I mean, that's odd too, but a different story. Here's what I say. I think you guys are probably. I think the Vegas odds would say you guys are right.
Yeah.
There's just so much love for the USC job. And again, I've argued, I'm not telling you it's a bad job. I have just hesitated to tell you that it's as good a job as everybody thinks it is because this isn't 1990 anymore. And it feels like USC hasn't won at all since Pete Carroll left.
Sure.
And that's like 12 years ago. And if it's that good of a job with all these different coaches, then how do you at least not win some, especially in a Pac-12 that hasn't been dominant? Let's be honest, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Stanford's performed better over the last decade than USC has.
True.
So I'm not saying it's a bad job. I think you guys probably have the Vegas money on being right. But here's why I say Miami got it the best.
But hang on, Brent. Miami's not 2000s anymore either.
Well, they're not. But they finally decided that it was 2021 in terms of the dollars.
Okay.
And so they not only how you say what the money says?
Sure.
Well, what the money said to Miami is we're going to spend about $25 million up front to be a part of this college football world again. We're done with Ben where we're at. And probably not fair to Manny Diaz and others that were there before him because they weren't willing to spend. But in this day and age, you have to spend. And they are ponying up dollars, and they get the good recruiter. I don't know if Cristobal's as good a coach as some of these other guys. I think Brian Kelly's a better coach. I think Lincoln Riley's probably a better coach. But what that move said to Miami, I think maybe
committed.
Puts them back on the map a little bit.
Yeah.
And again, everybody, it's the age-old question. Is Miami ever going to come back? No, the world's different. They can't come back the way they were. I mean, they were the baddest of boys in college football, and you just can't get away with that. Like, nobody wants to sign off on that anymore. So it's going to look different, but can they be competitive to your point in the ACC? Are they going to play the money game? Looks like it. They're going to play the recruiting game, which means he's going to recruit South Florida and this state. And right now, he won't have a hard time doing that in the state of Florida. So I think they made the biggest move. Biggest splash. I think the biggest mistake might be Brian Kelly. I don't know if it's a fit.
Yeah.
And it's not just because he did the Southern twang thing. I mean, I just really don't know if it's a fit. Right? No, seriously. He doesn't feel like a Louisiana guy to begin with.
No.
And sometimes that matters.
Yeah.
Now, Cristobal, to his credit, was able to go to Oregon and do pretty well, and he wasn't like a Northwest guy.
Yeah. But you feel like Louisiana's a little different in terms of like the culture and stuff.
I do.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. Football at 5 coming up. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
Now is the time to get an estimate on replacement windows. American Window Products of Jacksonville is a high-volume dealer offering a huge selection of products to keep your costs low. New windows from American Window Products can lower your energy costs and increase your curb appeal and security, all without breaking the bank. Call American Window Products for a free estimate at 904-667-0873 or visit AmericanWindowProducts.com.
You don't have to visit Buffalo to get fresh, delicious, mouth-watering wings made to order. Just go to the Extreme Wings nearest you. Extreme Wings is where the locals have been going for the freshest, never-frozen, world-famous hot wings since 1999. Dozens of flavors to choose from. Full liquor bar, happy hour specials, state-of-the-art TVs on every wall. After the game, after work, for lunch, for dinner. Make it extreme. Check out their award-winning Pit Road wings. Oh, they're so good. They are grilled to perfection with extremely secret seasoning. Looking for a family-friendly sports restaurant that can accommodate large parties? Well, look no further. You can take the entire team to Extreme Wings after the game, where all kids' meals are just $6.99. Come celebrate the grand opening of Extreme Wings' newest location. That's Roosevelt Boulevard near NAS Jax. Extreme burgers, salads, wraps, and of course, world-famous Extreme Wings. Do what the locals do and make it extreme. Extreme Wings, newest location on Roosevelt Boulevard near NAS Jax, or visit a location near you.
Men, did you know that over half of all males suffer from ED or PE? Both of these conditions are highly treatable.
Ladies, if your man is suffering from ED or PE, he should talk to the specialists at Prime Men's Medical Center.
If you're not the man you used to be in the bedroom because of ED or PE, the specialists at Prime Men's Medical Center offer custom blended medications.
There's no pain or surgery. If you have diabetes, high blood pressure, or prostate issues, not a problem.
If Viagra, Cialis, or Levitra have let you down,
Men are now lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer. And best of all, it's affordable.
for a private consultation with our highly skilled physicians at Prime Men's Medical Center, call 904-664-8217.
That's 904-664-8217. You'll see results on your first visit, guaranteed, or your consultation is free.
Call Prime Men's Medical Center at 904-664-8217.
I'm Glenn Levine, a board-certified civil trial lawyer. That means the Florida bars recognize me as an expert in the field of civil trial. As a trial lawyer, I'm trained to investigate every aspect of your case. If you've been involved in a legal dispute and are not sure of your options, call me, Glenn Levine, at the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000 for a free consultation and take back control of your life.
Office in Jacksonville.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690, Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
I'm Christine Lisi. At this hour, Tiger Woods will return to competition at next week's PNC Championship, playing with his son Charlie. Woods' return will come 10 months after his right leg was badly damaged in a car crash. Cowboys coach Mike McCarthy out the last game while in COVID-19 protocols will be back to work tomorrow as the team prepares for Sunday's game at Washington. Washington's won 4 in a row, is 6th in the NFC, 2 back of NFC East leading Dallas. Part of the reason for Washington's turnaround after a slow start, the play of the defense, notes coach Ron Rivera.
We got back to basics coming out of that buyout. We talked about specifically, playing a specific way, and you really started to see the evolution of our defense, especially after the first 2 games that we've won recently.
Ron Rivera on Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. Chargers added receiver Mike Williams to the COVID list one day after leading receiver Keenan Allen landed on that list. Bears quarterback Justin Fields cleared to return from a ribs injury. He'll start Sunday against the Packers. NBA, the Nets will rest Kevin Durant and LaMarcus Aldridge tonight against the Rockets. KD played 41 minutes in last night's win.
So, you think you know Wrangler jeans? Well, let us introduce you to some exciting new additions to the legacy. Just check out Wrangler.com and discover tons of new styles, all the latest denim trends, and more.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
You bench yourself. If you lay the ball on the ground, you come out for a few plays, and then it's up to the position coach and whoever to put you back in whenever that's time. And that's not James, that's whomever. When the ball goes on the ground, you come back. I almost took Treadwell make a great play Sunday, and he was loose with the ball. Remember that great run he had after the catch and all that, and I almost took him out of the game because he got away from him. But he was right next to the cell, and I grabbed him. I said, lock the ball. And he said, you're right, coach, you're right. Lock the ball, lock the ball. So it's just to refocus, reframe your mind, and make sure that the sound bites are buzzing through your head as you touch the football.
I don't think anybody should have a problem with what Urban said there on a lot of different levels. I also don't know why he couldn't have said that like last week or Monday or Sunday after the game. And I also think you still have to take note when your best player is sitting on the bench for 20 plays. I mean, that's extreme.
You know what they should do to help the fumbling issue? You know the guy with the microphone on the sidelines, the megaphone?
He left the team.
He's gone?
Yeah, he got picked up by Texas.
For real?
Yeah.
That guy's gone?
Yeah.
Where was the press release?
I don't know, but I don't know why. Where are the applications? I want to put my name in.
Hey, careful now, because you're playing your plate.
You sure about that?
Holla at your boy. What do you mean? I'm not sure about that.
Well, I mean, how's your voice these days?
I think my voice is ready to go. How's your voice?
5, 4,
5,
3,
4,
2,
3,
1.
Brent, you have good acoustics, but in terms of power, come on, man.
Winners or losers?
Brent, I'll tell you right now, former saxophone player, I have the lung capacity. I'm not sure if you have that.
You'd be
I'm just
awesome,
saying.
by the way. You should get that job.
Let's go.
From on the field to on the field.
Yeah, let's go. I'll put my application. Is there like a LinkedIn thing I can sign up for?
I don't know. Is that where you apply for things, LinkedIn?
Well, I mean, I used that page to get my application for the other job, remember?
Did you?
Remember how I had to turn an application to corporate?
I
and
do
then
remember
I
that.
just put for my application, I just printed off my LinkedIn page, and they got all mad about, like, you just can't send us your LinkedIn page, sir. I'm like, well, I'm gonna. So here you go. Because I already got the job, so it was all formality to go through HR and everything.
Yeah.
So like, you sent us a resume. I'm like, yeah, here's my
Careful
LinkedIn
how much
page.
you say.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
Whatever, man. Whatever.
Careful how much you say.
Unless you find somebody else with the same name, Austen, in this city, it's my job. So I'm untouchable.
By the way, I heard you talking pineapple pizza this morning.
Oh, you heard about that?
Yeah.
I almost cried over it. I was getting so emotional. Yeah.
And it's a
people
problem
agree with
I
you.
cried on Ted Lasso. Okay.
No, I was kidding.
You're crying
No, I
over
was kidding.
pizza.
But people
He's
agreed with you,
capping.
man, by the way.
Yeah, you're crazy.
I guess so.
Oh, is that what? I didn't stay for that. So that was
Oh, yeah. Oh, no.
you did
we
like
had,
a poll?
We had 3 phone callers. One guy was from South Africa who had an accent. He's even like, yeah, hey, mate, you're wrong. Like, whatever, dude.
Wait, he's from South Africa?
Yeah.
Isn't Australia mate?
No, I think he called me like mate, too. I think South Africa's got a little bit of an Australian thing. I don't know.
Okay.
Who knows?
Geography.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so, but I mean, I guess so. Could.
I mean, do you want me to Google it, man?
Yes.
Do
Now I
South
want you to-
Africans say mate?
Yes, I do.
I've never heard Gary Player say mate once in an interview.
Actually, I could see it happen. I mean, you're talking Ernie Els and Gary Player. I could see it happen. When you said, I think South Africa has a little Australian thing going, I don't know. I just didn't see the correlation.
They drink mate tea, which is MATE. I don't know. Give me some more time.
I will give you some
it up.
time.
Yeah.
Do you
But
hear about the
anyways-
phone call I got?
Yeah, that was awesome. Can we play that?
I have it.
Do you have it?
It's censored.
I pulled it from Twitter. You edited it for Twitter, right?
I did.
Oh, you put it on Twitter?
Yeah.
Dang it. I missed out on
I
that.
can play it.
This was actually like a really, just have the drop button ready in case. But this is I wrestled with this because so here's the story. I got off TV last night, and there's a lesson for young people that are getting in our business. And I was taught this a long time ago by an old sports director. He said, don't ever pick up the phone after when you get off and you're like 5 minutes after.
Okay.
Give it a little time.
Sure.
Okay. And so, to be honest with you, I probably would have picked up this phone. And I'm really glad I didn't because the message is better.
Oh, I would have, yeah.
But I was doing something, so that's really why I didn't pick up the phone. But it was immediately when I got back to the sports office, the phone rang.
So real quick, so you have your own phone in the office for the sports department.
Yeah.
Is that number just listed someplace where people can call?
You know, that's a good idea. I never understand. Like,
It
you
is.
really.
It is.
Because people used to call Burrish a lot. There's like a weather number you can call too. Everybody has their own phone.
It's like on their website or something?
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah,
okay.
I didn't even know that because I was like, man, you have to take the time to look
what I
up
was
the
getting
call,
at.
right?
Yeah.
And so anyway, I was like, this can't be good. Whatever was calling, right? And so then I get my voicemail actually through my email.
Yeah.
And so I listened, and I was laughing. I was like, to the point where I was like, I wish this guy would call every night after I'm on.
Right. Right. Just the gold that he provides.
I mean, it was so good. But the problem with the one we're going to say, like, it's just better with the swearing in it.
No, for sure.
I mean,
for
it's
sure.
way better. And so I debated when I put it out. I'm like, just throw it on Twitter with them swearing.
Oh, you got to, man.
And I'm like,
you
I
didn't
don't
do it?
know. Like,
Yeah, wholesome.
I heard the president of the company's in town today. Like, what if he catches wind of this? That's
Oh,
not a
really?
good
Because did you
thing.
listen to our podcast that just dropped? I hope you listen to that thing. I'm all over the
I'm
place.
just like, again, what do I say? If you hesitate, don't go.
Sure. Yeah, no.
And so I
and you
hesitated,
and you didn't
I
go.
was like, I'm not going to do it.
Good for you. I would have did it, but yeah, good for you.
You know, I've done this before when the kids, and this is what I was thinking about. I was thinking about if somebody sees this on Twitter and just opens it up in the morning while they're eating breakfast. Because I've done this before with the kids when they were little. And, like, I didn't anticipate there being any, like, swear words on there. And all of a sudden, it's like, beep, 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 beep. I'm like, oh, shit.
See, I didn't think about the kids. Because my James Robinson one had some bad language in it. I didn't think about that because I tweeted out like at 8 o'clock in the morning.
That's why that's really what won me over to bleep some of it, or at least silence some of the swear words.
See, here's where I come from the swear words, though, and posting them on social media. I feel like if you bleep it out, people are going to know what it was.
I agree.
So if you know what it is, then you might as well just say it. But I get where you're coming from.
Well, and again, for the radio purpose, we can't.
Yeah, for radio, we can't.
But, I mean, I must have listened to this thing. So I just want to make sure I set the table like this does not bother me. This was awesome.
Yes.
And it actually got me thinking. I'm like, all the bad things people say about Urban Meyer these days and some of the direct stuff, like I laugh at this.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder if they do sometimes, too.
Yeah.
You know, like, this guy's an idiot.
No,
right? Like, I'm fine. You can say what you want to say, but this guy's an idiot. So anyway, listen to this guy said.
Hey, I just got to tell you, what a great sports broadcast tonight. Oh, yeah, it was wonderful listening for about 5 minutes of you jibber-jabber about a stupid football team that couldn't beat their way out of a wet paper sack. Oh, he's not developing. Oh, Urban Meyer does this. Oh, this, that. And then you go on to some stupid hockey or soccer and then some stupid local crap about basketball. And, of course, nothing about Coral Gables, about Miami snagging a damn, just Bush League. Bush League, Martineau, and fix that stutter, will you? You fucking idiot.
First of all, if you love stutters, you're going to love me. Why did he call you Martineau? Like, does he know you? Like, what?
I don't know, but I was impressed, first of all, that he did, and he said it the way it was supposed to be said.
Yeah.
So, I mean, listen, I appreciate the viewership.
Can you play the very first part again? Because I thought when you sent us this, I thought it was going to be a good thing.
I know, that's the best. By the way, that is the best part of this. When you first listen to it, you're like, I thought the same thing. I'm like, man, I wonder what he's about to compliment me about. Like, what happened in this sportscast? And then it takes a turn.
Casey, like, first 4 seconds, please.
Hey, I just got to tell you, what a great sports broadcast tonight.
Like, right there. I mean, how much sarcasm can you sprinkle on? It's like Jim Rome levels of sarcasm.
And then, boom, watch it a 180 right here.
Oh, yeah, that was wonderful listening for about 5 minutes of you jibber-jabber about a stupid football team.
That might be Jim Rome. Jim Rome, remember, like, Jim Rome was like, "Oh yeah, that's some real great American football right there. A 9-6 football score. Check that. 9-10. You know, like, he always does that." Man,
I love that he gets a dig in on the Jags too, though.
Yeah,
like it's like
this guy. So what time was this at again?
This is like 11:30 last. I mean, when I got off, 11:32. I mean, literally, it was right when I got off. It was so good. I mean, this was really good stuff.
You know, this kind of reminds
me. So I said it. Here's the other part of that. Right? Yeah. This is so funny. So I send it. I'm like sending it to everybody. I send it to you guys. It's like midnight, of course. I'm sending it to everybody because I'm not sure. I don't want to put it out there with them swearing.
Sure.
And so I'm sending it to everybody. Like, this is like the greatest.
Yep.
And I do love that. Like, my kids are old enough now that I can send it to them, and I don't care if they drop like the F-bomb in there.
Sure. Yeah. Like, Ronan would probably start to be a couple years out.
Oh yeah, you couldn't do that. But now, like, shoot, man, they're baseball and softball coaches probably say it to them.
Yeah.
So I love the part, like, my sisters, like, my mom doesn't text, so this would really be funny to see her reaction.
Yeah.
But my sisters and my dad, like, are on a text message chain there, group message. And so I sent it to them. They don't get it till this morning.
Yeah.
And they're half laughing and half like, well, you don't have a stutter?
Yeah.
Like, you don't, like, it's all, like...
Trying to, but
like it's okay.
Hey,
like, you really don't. It's all right.
Like, do they not know you though? Like, you think you're truly offended by this? Like, you think Brent heard that? Like, what? Gotta quit now. That's it.
I mean,
it's on the wall.
Seriously,
I'm out of here.
I don't know what I did yesterday, but it was like the highlight of my day.
Yeah.
Like,
so what?
I mean, it was the only thing that could have topped it is if I ate like an Uncrustable when I went home.
Insane.
Casey, don't shake your head at the Uncrustable, man. Just eat the damn thing and you'll know what I'm talking about.
You never had one?
No, stop.
Okay.
Big fan of Uncrustables, but I don't know. The part that I'm confused on is how you couldn't have had one at that point.
Oh, yeah.
If you had them, why not just have one?
Yeah, because I try not to eat that stuff late at night.
It's peanut butter and jelly. You'll be all right.
A lot of preservatives.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But anyway, the guy was classic. I hope he calls in again today. And here's the crazy part. I know his name.
Yeah.
And I have his number.
Yeah.
And I should just, like, call him back.
You know his last name? I mean,
the one that came up on the caller ID.
Don't say it on here. Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I mean, that's the thing. It
So you
comes up
probably
on the
search
ID.
them if you wanted
Yeah,
to.
if I
and
wanted
you should Facebook friend them.
Yes,
That would be hilarious.
You should have them on Facebook.
No.
Hey, so I think it takes a special type of person to do that. To like be so offended out of your nightly news that you have to go at 11:30 and call somebody and like voice a complaint.
It really does.
Like, have you ever done that before? Have you ever?
No.
Like, I mean, with an Casey, your airline.
Yeah.
Yes. Now you've done it with the tickets.
Vivid Seats.
Yeah. But like,
But that was like that was in the moment.
Sure.
Yeah.
But like, do you ever find yourself doing that? Like, do you like leave like bad reviews or good reviews? Like,
No.
I could care either way.
No.
Yeah.
I've always been astonished with the people, especially now. Like, I could see a little bit more like
Everywhere.
20 years ago.
Yeah.
But now you can find all the information. So we have people like all the time call in and complain or whatever about the game we're showing.
Yeah.
Or they'll ask us like what game we're showing or whatever. And it'll be like I don't just Google it. Like, or the rules are out there. Like, everybody knows now, but it just shows you. And this, listen, my mom's a little bit like this. Like, she still lives like in 1990 something. She has not. She wouldn't Google that information.
Yeah.
She wouldn't. She doesn't have texting and Twitter and Facebook. She doesn't.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times it's folks. It just brings you back to reality. Like, hey, there are some folks that don't live in the same world we're living in from a digital or electronic standpoint or a technology standpoint, and that we still get, I would say, a few emails a week on like the games we're showing on CBS and Fox but people, that's where people really call in. Like if you're even in our, especially if you go back 20 years ago, but if you're in our station at like 4 o'clock or 1 o'clock on a Sunday, I guarantee the phone's ringing 12, 15, 20 times about the game that's on. And most of the time it's like, they know we can't do anything about it, but they really want to yell at somebody.
People just want to be heard.
506sports.com. We'll give you all the information you need. You can see the maps. You can see what games are on, where they're playing, and why they're not playing in your local area.
There you go.
Yeah.
506sports.com.
But again, like now people do this. They go on Twitter and yell at Brent.
Yeah.
Right? Or Facebook and yell at whoever the president is. But it's just weird when you get the phone call now.
Brent, if you don't have haters, then you're not doing something right,
I love
man.
it. And
so,
it's so good.
You have to
It's so
embrace
good.
that for real.
The thing about it is, I'm still
Like, I like this guy now. Like, I'm actually like him.
Well, you don't have to. Yeah, you don't like.
Well, I mean, I wish he would call in for my entertainment every night. It would be a great
I want to
bit.
call in on our show and I just be like, "Hey, man, what's going on? You all right?" That's what I want to do to him. But
I'm confused what he was mad about. Like, I texted back, local Jacksonville resident mad about Jacksonville news covering Jacksonville Jaguars because he's mad about the local stuff and then Coral
the
Gables.
Hurricanes, though, yeah. So
Which is, by the way, why that's
why
why I played the sound last block, but nobody caught on.
I didn't. Sorry, about
Coral
that.
Gables,
Miami
coach guy, whatever. His name is. Cristobal.
That's a good call. But yeah, he was mad. I think he's obviously he's a Miami fan, and I think he was just mad at the world and chose me that day.
Of course, no mention of Coral Gables. Yes, you're correct, sir.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder, like, you
Let's
wonder
move
with
on.
the guy. I'm trying to get in that
We're not
guy's
Miami.
mind.
We're done.
Trying to get in that guy's mind. If he had a different station on, would he have called that person and just complained about whatever was on?
Sure.
Because last night, all we did was James Robinson and Trevor Lawrence. It's not like we did, and we also had like a basketball coach win his 300th game. We didn't have hockey, so I don't even know what the hell he was talking about there.
Yeah.
And then we had a soccer game. Mandarin beat Bowls 3-0, and so we showed that. So that was it.
I know.
There was really nothing to get that mad about. Like, what I thought he was like, would you stop talking about this James Robinson story?
Sure.
Like, all you guys talk about is that. You get that sometimes even on social media.
Yeah.
So I thought that maybe was why he was calling in. Oh, man, it was great.
I mean, at the end of the day, like, I feel bad for you because you did that at 11:30 and you felt like, hey, you know what? I have to make my voice heard. But at the same time, I don't feel bad for you. I almost envy you because if your life is that good where you have to go out of your way to spend time and energy to call a news station at 11:30, life's got to be banging, man. Like, life's got to be awesome. Like, you're killing it, man. Like, if that's the worst part of your day is Brent not saying Coral Gables a couple times, dude, you're crushing life.
Yeah, life's pretty
so
good.
props to that, dude.
Yeah.
You're crushing it, man.
I had nothing to complain about.
When you sent it, I knew it was you when the guy started making fun of you saying, how's it going to develop? I was like, yep, that's definitely Brent then.
I was like, yeah. Be like, when was the clue? That it was, oh, man, it was so good. That was so good. I'm just glad, hey, that we had somebody watching the show last night.
Sure, man. It's good to have fans.
That's where my mind goes to. Hey, he hung through the whole sportscast.
That's a good point.
Against all odds.
Yeah, by the way, we hit the meter.
Yeah.
It's good for ratings.
Here's what we do tonight. Brent, tease Coral Gables tonight and then don't deliver on it.
That would be hilarious.
Oh, we're out of time. Sorry. John Bachman's got another breaking story we got to get to.
We'll see if he calls in again today.
I hope so.
Please do.
I think we've had the guy in the past like one time. I don't feel like it's like an everyday, like this isn't like an everyday thing for him.
I hope not.
But I feel like you get
I
some
know,
of that. But I like there are some people on like the Sundays complaining about games like it's the same person.
Yeah.
But
might as well
this
just
guy,
move.
I feel like he might have been. I mean, I've been here 14 years now, so I think he's probably left one before, but it's been a while. And that was a good one. Hey, football at 5. That was along on our voicemail. Feel free to call in anytime. I'm not handing out the number. You'll have to look it up.
Check it out.
And I'm not picking up.
Yes.
Okay.
Leave a voicemail.
Or you can just hit us on Twitter and tell me how you really feel.
There it is.
But it's less entertaining.
Yeah.
It definitely was better.
We need voicemails. That needs to be a thing
We
now.
need
just
star
from going
690
forward.
back.
But
That's
here's
what we
the
need.
thing. If you would have answered that phone, do you think he would have popped off like he did? There's no way.
100% hangs up.
You think he hangs up?
Yeah.
I think he just would have been like, hey,
Nah, I
man,
don't
what's
think
up
he's
with
saying
Miami? Talk about, I don't think he would have.
No way he curses you out to your face.
No way.
No, he doesn't. And here's what I also learned from my boss back in the day: is like you kill them with kindness.
Yeah.
And then they're like, crap.
Yeah.
Because that person wants you to come back at them.
Yeah.
And so you just like, oh yeah, thanks for the, that's a good point.
But
and
see,
they
that's the
hate
thing,
that.
dude.
They
But,
hate it.
but you're already you're a good dude as it is already.
Yeah,
like
but you got to really.
Casey.
Oh, yeah. That's, yeah.
Hey, Casey's swearing because he didn't get 6 retweets, he only got 5.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
So push Casey to the edge.
You got to know how to deal with these people.
Yeah.
It's a psychology.
Just retweet my stuff.
Retweet it. But anyway, hey, the big story in Jacksonville continues to be James Robinson, but it's addressed today. Trevor Lawrence talked about it. He voiced his opinion on it. It's no doubt the team has talked about this, where they go from here. Real quick, we do wonder, where does it go? We don't want to belabor this any more than it is, but now it's like the future's out there. Does James finish off good? Do you feel like he now is motivated a little bit, has this in the rear view? It's not taking up his space in his mind and his preparation. He probably he told us at least Monday, he feels the best he's felt since he got hurt. Yeah. So that alone is a positive thing. Do you think James plays well the last 5 weeks, or is this something we look back on that his season kind of got derailed?
I do. I mean, he has to think now going forward, he has to get the opportunities, right? I mean, if he can hang on the football.
Yeah.
So I'm not worried about the targets or.
Yeah, I don't think he has a free pass to fumble.
No, for sure. But I do think as long as he can, maintain possession, he's going to stay on that field. I think he can definitely rebound. I think this offense is going to have to still go through him. I really do. Now, you might see some wrinkles here or there. I hope you see something different. But the constant has to be James Robinson. When this offense has had success, it's been, on the shoulders of James Robinson. So I think he's going to bounce back. I think he's going to get the carries pending he's healthy and pending he doesn't fumble again.
Yeah. Listen, he has more touchdowns at this stage this year than he did last year.
That's wild.
I think he ended up with 10 touchdowns last year. He's really not going to catch up probably to the yardage because, quite frankly, they've held him back, and he did miss a game and a half. Now, if he stays healthy the rest of the year, he missed 2 games last year, so he could catch up. He's really could easily still get 1,000 yards if they start giving him the football. I shouldn't say easily, but he definitely could get 1,000 yards if they give him the football and he finishes strong. I think that's something to see. Has the damage been done in the relationship with this organization that you really wonder if he'll even be around in 2022?
So I'll say this, and once again, I don't know I kind of have a vibe of what James Robinson brings to the table in terms of mindset and the psyche, but I don't know him personally. But I do know whether you're the most humble dude in that locker room or whether you're the most, egotistical maniac in that locker room, pride is a hell of a thing. And when that pride gets hurt, and when mistrust violates that pride, it can take a long time to recover from that. And usually you probably don't recover from that. So if you're asking me right now, where is the relationship between Urban Meyer and James Robinson? Yeah, maybe they squashed it. Maybe, the communication is a lot better, but players don't forget. Players don't forget when it comes to playing time.
Yeah, that's a good call. This is where, again, I think this is critical here for the Jacksonville Jaguars based on what's happened the last handful of years. And I think this is, I don't know if this already has taken place or if it will take place. There are exit interviews, so to speak, with players from Shad Khan. He's done that. But I think Shad Khan needs to communicate well with players like Trevor Lawrence. Even though I know that Urban Meyer has the keys to the car here, I still think the owner needs to have communication and feedback about his first year. I think that needs to take place. I thought it could have even taken place after the whole Ohio incident. And are you okay with everything here? I mean, I know this is really odd and awkward, and maybe he has checked in with the quarterback, and maybe it's not the time to do it. I don't know when the right time to handle it is, but I know communication between the owner and the franchise player is important, and I kind of feel like Shad should maybe do something similar with James.
Yeah.
You know, that might be a little beyond what he wants to do. But, again, this young man has done really well here for 2 years, and I just don't like – you know, maybe these are the best 2 years that James Robinson has in the NFL. I think the Jags still have to be very careful of the optics of how this ends and another player exiting, because we saw it all in this last couple of days. Former players, Uche, Ryan Davis, Jimmy Smith, guys that have been here and seen it and care about the organization.
Yes.
Are hammering the organization. Well, if those are the guys that are hammering the organization for how this was done and they are part of the organization in the past, what are people saying that might be free agents to come here? Yeah. And I've never fully believed that too much, because money still talks at the end of the day, but it could factor in. It could get it's already probably limiting the pool a degree because Urban Meyer's the coach, and there might be some that don't want to play for Urban Meyer, the college coach coming in, and the style or whatever they hear. But on top of that, some of the mess that's been created, you do wonder if this lingers into free agency a little bit, where the Jags, at the very least, will have to pay top dollar and more dollar than everybody else.
No, it's a great point, you know, and we haven't really, it doesn't feel like draft season yet. It doesn't really feel like free agent season yet. But yes, I absolutely agree with you when you say that this could affect the long run of things of getting guys signed. Like, money always talks, and like I always say, it's not about the money, what the money says. And yeah, maybe you overpay by a couple million, you get that guy here, so be it. But if it comes down to the wire, and you know you're going to offer the same amount as another team with your maybe kind of record or just in your prominence, it's going to be different, man.
Yeah.
You know, why? I mean, I'll be honest. Like, if I'm a free agent right now, and you know, this is a national thing. Like, we're in a bubble. We talk James Robinson nonstop. Yeah, because that's our job. But, like, don't get it twisted. This is everywhere. This is in New York. This is on ESPN. This is everywhere. Like, this James Robinson, Urban Meyer story is big. So if they're talking about it, well, then players know about it. And if players know about it, yeah, they don't want to come here to this.
Yeah.
Why would you?
Yeah, they talk, agents talk.
Yes.
But that's why I think it's really important at some point, Shad Khan, it's going to be after the season, I get it, but it'll be that Shad Khan even addresses it with James Robinson, because if somebody then asks James Robinson, it's like, listen, man, I love Jacksonville. That was a little sticky situation, but it was cool how they handled it. Trevor Lawrence defended us. Some of my teammates defended us. The coaches then listened, and even the owner, Shad Khan, communicated with me about it.
Yeah.
I think that at least feels good. It feels better a month and a half from now when you're sharing those stories with other people around the league or other agents around the league. There's ways to remedy it even when things go bad. Not everything always goes right in the business world and the NFL world.
True.
The problem is you don't want it to be one of the reasons why people are like, I ain't going there.
No, and I think if you're Shad Khan, you have to realize this, and you got to put your arm around James Robinson. You really do. Because yes, players want a lot of things. Players want to win. Players want the best, all this stuff. But you know what players want maybe more than anything? Is to feel appreciated.
That's it.
Okay? And I don't, yeah, exactly. And that kind of falls in something like the same thing, you know, appreciation and respect. And, you know, I think James Robinson these past couple of weeks has been underappreciated. He's been disrespected. I think if I'm Shad Khan and the season's coming to an end and it's the last week, or, you know, you're doing your exit interviews, I put my arm around James Robinson and say, hey, what happened shouldn't have happened. We value you. We appreciate you. You've done a lot for this organization, and we picture you here going forward.
Yeah.
Like, that's, I think as an owner, that can speak waves.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I think that would be huge.
Yes.
And I think it's important. I think Shad Khan needs to do some of that stuff, because keep in mind, that kind of perception that could persist going into this offseason is something Urban Meyer was supposed to kind of clean up. Instead, he's a little bit, at least for the moment, piled onto it.
Now, if you're Shad Khan, you don't have to do that. A lot of owners wouldn't do that.
I agree, yeah.
But if you want to make a good impression, if you want to set a precedent, you do it.
I do think Shad Khan has done that more in recent years. and he's made it more of a thing. I don't know if I can't say succinctly annually he does that, but I know he's done it multiple times now over the last handful of years, especially coming out of seasons where things aren't going well.
Sure.
But it's a nice touch, I think, from the owner. And James Robinson needs to be on that list. Trevor Lawrence should be at the top of the list, but James Robinson should be near the top of the list. Let's take a break. Actually, let's get Captain Rick in right now. Florida Sportsman Fishing Report. Captain Rick Riles, what's happening, man?
Well, if we're looking for seasons where things haven't gone well, I guess we got plenty to choose from anyway, don't we?
There are blueprints.
There's no shortage. Is the day ever coming when we're not talking about the draft in December? I mean, I hate it.
It's hard.
I really do. I'm so glad fishing's better than what our football team is, and it was good this morning before the weather change came rolling in. I was back in my kayak on a mud flat, and there were redfish rooting around in the mud like pigs. They are really, really – this is the latest in the season that I have seen them with their backs out of the water. That tells us that the water is warmer than it normally is for the first week of December. No offshore today. Wind blew good and hard out of the west this morning. Wasn't predicted to, but it blew quite a bit harder. It's supposed to get better for the next 2 days, and then we see a major shift as our next cold front comes rolling in. But the redfish bit well today. Flounder were okay. There were a handful caught and several reports of sheep's head, particularly around the Fort George area. But there's one thing you can count on. We're going to be back tomorrow with another fishing report brought to you by CSS Landscapers. They're paying top dollars for top landscapers and Workman's Quick Fix Plumbing. Thank you, boys.
Thanks, Captain Rick. Have a good one, man. Captain Rick Riles, Florida Sportsman Fishing Report. Each and every day, Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Saturday morning, 7 a.m. right here on ESPN 690. I don't know.
Fisher in the mud?
I was kind of thinking, why don't we write these things down? The best of Captain Rick.
Yeah. I don't know if fish got down like that.
Their backs out of the water?
Yeah.
Is that what he said?
Yeah.
In the mud like pigs, yeah.
In the mud like pigs.
Yeah.
I mean,
no. There you go.
You're not in a boat, though, right?
No, he's in a kayak.
Oh, kayak.
He's in a kayak.
Yeah.
But how's the kayak? I don't know, man. That's awesome. I mean, it's great. I want to see that.
You want to visualize that?
Yeah. I don't know. I feel that's... I can't visualize it, but I can't see being on a kayak in mud with fish jumping up out of the mud.
Yeah. This really is not where you'll find it, but I'll say it anyway. You should watch Yellowstone. We'll be back.
Is there mud fishing in Yellowstone?
I don't know, but probably. Action Sports Snake River.
Oh, they stole my oats. I'm Kevin Costner. I got to get them back. Come to get my oats back.
Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Everybody loves Ted Lasso and Yellowstone except for Austin Lane.
Yeah.
That's a him problem, not a you problem, people. We'll be back.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Showers and a few storms will be ending early this evening and moving away, clearing skies overnight and turning cooler, dropping into the 50s. Your Thursday will be a little bit cooler, but still nice under partly sunny skies. The afternoon high in the lower 70s. From the Action News Jax First Alert Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish for CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds, where the anniversary sale's been extended through Christmas Eve. Save up to 41% store-wide.
Looking for a great career that can take you places? The Jacksonville Transportation Authority offers miles of opportunity, and the JTA is now hiring bus operators. We offer competitive pay and benefits with a starting wage of $16.43 per hour. We're offering hiring bonuses from $10,000 to $15,000. CDL training is available, and JTA will pay for relocation to Florida. And the Sunshine State has no income tax, so your paycheck goes further. Stop looking for a job. Get yourself a new career with the JTA.
The right time for the best water is right now. CGC Water Treatment wants to make sure your family's water is clean, healthy, and tastes great. CGC Water's done that for my family for a handful of years now, and it all starts with a Connecticut system. American-made and installed by the pros at CGC Water Treatment. Contact CGC Water Treatment now for your free water test. Connecticut systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. Remember, if you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Connecticut makes the world's most efficient softeners, twin-tank, non-electric systems that use less salt and water during regeneration. Right now, save up to $600 on select system packages. Financing available with approved credit. Just call CGC Water at 904-552-1242 and ask about the Conway Club, the new service program that will save you money on salt, filters, delivery, parts, and labor. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. Proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars and your local independent Connecticut dealer.
You want to feel important.
You want to be part of something bigger.
Something that matters and can help change things.
You want to feel like you belong.
We know. We felt that way too.
And that's why we did something about it.
We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers.
We are normal people just like you.
But our part-time service in the Army National Guard means we get to be more.
When our communities are in need, we get the chance to stand up and do something about it.
We get to serve in our own region and help the people we call neighbors.
From the farmlands of Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia.
The mountains of West Virginia, Kentucky, Tennessee, North Carolina, and Virginia.
To the beaches of Florida, South Carolina, Puerto Rico, and the Virgin Islands.
We are here for our hometowns.
And together, we can make a difference.
Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Florida Army National Guard. Aired by the Florida Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Slip and falls can be embarrassing, leaving you in pain and feeling like you've lost control. I'm Eli Anajar from the law offices of Anajar and Levine. After a fall, document the scene by taking photographs and make sure to get medical attention for any injuries you may have. If you've been injured in a slip and fall accident, call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000 for a free consultation. And take back control of your life.
Office in Jacksonville.
I'm Susan Appleton, owner of Appleton Communication and a Jax Chamber member. I'm so grateful to have the opportunity to serve the Jacksonville Women's Business Center on the Society of Small Businesses and to work with women business leaders in Northeast Florida. I'm proud to be a part of JWBC by offering women the opportunity to enhance their communication strategies and relationship building skills as a venture leadership facilitator. JWBC continues to innovate resources and education and provides women entrepreneurs the space to network and prosper alongside each other. This support is invaluable to women in business, and I am most thankful to be a part of it. For more information, visit jackschamberfoundation.org.
Whether you're a rock-solid hard athlete or a hardcore fan, in Little League, a pro, or a weekend warrior, Cora Physical Therapy is here to help you reach your goals. We're happy to announce that Cora is now open in Kingsland, on Boone and Haddock, and we're coming soon to Brunswick. With a total of 17 clinics in the Jacksonville region, there's sure to be one near your home or work. Call or come in today for a free screening. No physician's referral needed. CoraPhysicalTherapy.com, treating everyone right.
For the ones finding new ways to ensure the job always gets done. For the ones wearing many hats. For the ones who are hands-on, even from far away. And the ones keeping business moving forward. We are Grainger, offering supplies and solutions for every industry, with 24/7 support and experienced staff at over 250 local branches. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
5G is here, but the big carriers want you to sign a pricey long-term contract to get in on the action. Well, no more, because Straight Talk Wireless has rolled out 5G coverage nationwide, with plans starting at just $35 a month with no contract. And get a Samsung Galaxy A32 5G for only $299, all on America's best networks. 5G coverage, 5G phones, less money. Straight Talk Wireless, no contract, no compromise. 5G capable device required, actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
From city streets to back roads, from road warrior to carpooler, there are some things you can always count on, like the reliability, durability, and power of DieHard, America's most trusted auto battery. No matter where your journey takes you, count on DieHard to get you started on the road ahead. Available at your local Advance Auto Parts and participating CarQuest stores.
I don't know about you, but I'm ready to let the good times roll. And by roll, I mean roll on home in a brand new Toyota, because Toyotathon is on at Arlington Toyota. Camry, Corolla, RAV4, Tundra, Tacoma. Arlington Toyota has 300 new Toyotas available. And with Arlington's 30-day exchange program and lifetime warranty with every new purchase, buying your new Toyota's more fun than ever. Toyotathon is on at Arlington, 10939 Atlanta Boulevard, or online anytime at arlingtontoyota.com. Visit arlingtontoyota.com/Toyotathon for full details.
You don't have to visit Buffalo to get fresh, delicious, mouth-watering wings made to order. Just go to the Extreme Wings nearest you. Extreme Wings is where the locals have been going for the freshest, never-frozen, world-famous hot wings since 1999. Dozens of flavors to choose from. Full liquor bar, happy hour specials, state-of-the-art TVs on every wall. After the game, after work, for lunch, for dinner. Make it extreme. Check out their award-winning Pit Road wings. Oh, they're so good. They are grilled to perfection with extremely secret seasoning. Looking for a family-friendly sports restaurant that can accommodate large parties? Well, look no further. You can take the entire team to Extreme Wings after the game, where all kids' meals are just $6.99. Come celebrate the grand opening of Extreme Wings' newest location. That's Roosevelt Boulevard near NAS Jax. Extreme burgers, salads, wraps, and of course, world-famous Extreme Wings. Do what the locals do and make it extreme. Extreme Wings' newest location on Roosevelt Boulevard near NAS Jax, or visit a location near you.
I'm Marcus Roberts, and I've been blind since I was 5 years old. I'm a jazz pianist and composer, and I've been fortunate to perform all over the world for more than 30 years. I am also a proud graduate of the Florida School for the Deaf and Blind. While there, I had great teachers who specialized in working with blind and visually impaired students. FSDB provided me with many of the essential skills I needed to succeed. The school is a state public school available at no cost to eligible K-12 Florida students who are deaf, blind, or both. FSDB helps students to do more, be more, and achieve more. It prepares them for a lifetime of success. For more information, call 800-342-3732 or visit www.fsdbk12.org.
One of the first things I saw is when he came in my office in January, February, first time I met him, and he got a little emotional about Jacksonville when he said that, crime rates go down, everything's different in the city when we win in 17. And I looked at him, I said, usually young people worried about themselves. That was that kind of spies in the heart of a kid like Miles Jack, where he loves you. I talked about it on the way because I know he's won that award, or nominated for the award. And then you meet his mother, and she's the same type of person. And it's really cool. That's really refreshing. That's one of the first things he said to me. He said, we got to win. And sometimes, unfortunately, in today's society, you got to win for me. He said, we got to win for the 904. We got to win for this area. Is different when we win. And he experienced it.
That's Urban Meyer. That's kind of cool story he shared about Miles Jack, Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Of course, remember Calais Campbell won that award a couple years back, which basically says if you win that award, don't plan on being here long, or if you're nominated, because Calais was nominated, gone. Josh Lambo was nominated, gone. Miles Jack, don't plan on him being around next year, I guess.
Man.
I mean, that's a weird thing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we nominate our Walter Payton Man of the Year.
The city, do good for the city, and we'll see you later.
See ya.
Yeah, we'll get a 6th-round pick, though. It's all good.
Yes, absolutely.
Or a 5th-round pick, whatever it was.
Conditional.
Conditional. Are we getting close to the 5th-round pick for Minshew? How many?
I think he has to play 3 games. I think it was.
Okay.
Is that sound right?
Well, yes, it sounds right. But is it 3 games, like a certain amount of snaps? Because he's played in 2 now. Because he did play one other time for like 2 snaps.
I think it's a certain amount of snaps.
Okay.
But I think it's like essentially the equivalent of playing 3 games, like full games.
We're not getting there.
Is he going to play Sunday?
Unconfirmed. It's Wednesday.
No idea.
You know how these things work.
Yeah. Sometimes they'll let you know on Wednesday. But like if Hurts didn't practice today, I think there's a really good chance they'll probably hold him out.
Well, I mean, if they want to win, they should probably play him, right?
Play who, Minshew?
Yeah.
I mean, they've won games with Hurts too. But, I mean, it's really hard to sit a guy after he has that kind of performance.
It is, man. Hot hand.
That's a really hard thing to do.
Yeah.
We were just talking about this, and I said, I saw like Michael Strahan's going to space.
Yeah.
And I
had no idea that was going down.
And so I was thinking, I have no part of me wants to do that.
just to say that you went to space. But see, to me, it's not even really like
it's not like you're an astronaut. I mean,
yeah, you literally go up there till it's dark and you come back down. It's nothing.
Yeah,
I mean, are you weightless? Are you weightless? I assume, right?
I think you are.
Are you weightless, Casey, when they do this? Like Strahan?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, I don't know like how high they're going up.
I think that's why it's considered space. I mean, I think if you get to that point, I think.
The Eagles have a bye. That's what I was working on.
Oh, sorry. The Eagles have a bye. That's right. So they got better. They can get them better. They could send Minshew or Hurts to space on the weekend.
Minshew had the jacket for it.
He did.
They have that Top Gun jacket.
I don't know, but I'm serious. Like all these rich people are going to space, right?
Yeah.
Like, and I know that's a sticking point. All stuff. I'm not even getting into that part. I'm just saying, like, if it was free.
Yeah.
You know. By the way, the worst ride at Disney is Mission Space.
No doubt.
Oh my gosh.
No doubt.
I've been to Mission Space.
Scares.
I've been on Space Mountain.
You do the normal one or the orange one?
I did the normal one and it was bad enough.
Two
my
of them?
buddy. My buddy. He was like, Pat.
Yeah.
He's like 6 feet tall, 280 pounds. He was crying like a baby. He wanted out of there. He was pounding on the door to get out of there.
It's like a roller coaster?
No, it's like
it's really realistic, like zero gravity, like all kinds of.
Oh, cool.
It really feels like There's one that's like super tame where you don't like move or like there's gravity.
Okay.
The other one is like
and that's the orange one you're talking about?
The orange one is the tough one.
Yeah.
But he was claustrophobic too when they closed the doors.
Oh, and you're in there too. I'll tell you what, you're in there.
You're in like a pot? I don't know what you guys are talking
There's
about.
like okay, so the ride thing is like there's like 4 seats in the thing.
Okay.
But then it comes in on you, so you feel like you're tied up in a spaceship.
Sure, yeah.
And then it like
so you go straight up like it's like
it feels like you don't actually, but
yeah, but
you
it feels like you are.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
and
like
then
virtual.
As you launch, you lose the gravity and
oh, cool.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm too old for that, but that's cool.
It's intense.
I bet.
Like it's either like you like it or you don't.
So you did this recently? A couple years ago?
Been a long time
okay, I
ago.
got you.
I wouldn't do it again.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, I get. Let's just say it was a free ride to space. Line up. And Cape Canaveral.
Yeah.
And I don't think I would. Like I don't have any desire. Like I don't understand. Other than saying you do it, like I think that's how I'm going to remember 2021 from a broad view, outside of like COVID. Is like people went to space in 2021 like nonstop. It's not even a thing anymore. Like it feels like it's happening every week.
Yeah. I mean, it's one thing if you're like an astronaut, you're on the moon and you're doing stuff, or like you're like a rover. Then like I mean that'd be cool. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Just taking a plane ride up a little higher than you're accustomed to. Your ears are probably popping.
Yeah, I don't know. By the way, I went to space camp as a kid too.
Yeah, you're
like,
all
I wanted
about
to
it.
be an astronaut.
You had some crazy times between space camp and swimming.
Yeah. Space camp was 5th grade. It was awesome. You should see the video. I got a video.
Oh, you got a video of it?
Oh my gosh, it's hilarious. Like I think my mom has it.
You and Joshua Dobbs, man.
Josh Dobbs.
Oh,
That's right.
That's right.
I'm surprised Joshua Dobbs hasn't gone.
That's a good point.
Why hasn't he gone to space?
Are we sure he hasn't?
He's probably working on it or something. Well, because
is he still with Pittsburgh?
I think so.
All right.
Well, why'd you go to space when Big Ben's doing what he's doing right
He's
now?
still with
trying to
Pittsburgh?
get I think he's with Pittsburgh.
They have
isn't he?
4 quarterbacks?
Maybe not. Maybe
They might not. The Steelers want to get Big Ben to
Big
space.
Ben has to shoot him in a rocket to space. Josh, by the way, Joshua Dobbs, front of the show.
Yes, Joshua Dobbs, good guy.
I got nothing on. I don't think he is with the. No.
You know, we mentioned Big Ben. I saw this tweet today about somebody said like, you know, he's thrown the ball a million times and he's basically out of bullets.
Okay.
And I saw somebody else it's kind of. I almost had this snarky comment back because it was like a newspaper guy or a TV guy. Or it was a media guy.
Okay.
And he wrote like, well, Tom Brady is still doing it at 44. If you take care of your body and you do this and that. I'm like, this coming from a guy who probably eats 5 Cheetos in the press box every Sunday, right? Like 5 bags
Fix
of
the
Cheetos.
ice cream machine. What's going on?
Yeah, I know it. And you're telling somebody how to be in shape and play until they're 42.
I've never seen so many, and I don't call anybody out because it's a lot of people. Last time I was in there, I've never seen some people shook up over an ice cream machine not working.
It's unbelievable.
Hey,
see, that's what happens. The ice cream machine never even existed. And now that they have it, the expectation level gets raised.
And also entitlement goes up a little more.
Entitlement.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
But also it's +2, so fix it, though.
Yeah, it's true. +2.
Yeah,
by the way,
fix
if
it.
we're going to have to watch that garbage on Sundays, at least serve good ice cream.
You better add sprinkles, too.
Yes.
Yeah. Screw the soft serve. I want like the old fashioned, with the scooper thing.
But that comment was like, Tom Brady has now raised the bar where if you're 38 years old and you're not playing at a high level, you suck.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't do a good job. Like, you didn't.
No.
I think that's unfair to people. Tom
Some
Brady's
people
a
wanna eat
bit of a
carbs.
unicorn here.
Yes.
Aaron Rodgers now is kind of getting into that realm. We saw Drew Brees get to 40.
Yeah.
You know, so guys are doing it a little bit, but I think it's unfair. Ben Roethlisberger has had a nice run. He's had a good career. He's had some ups and downs. But he's been very good. There's no reason to hammer him on the way out the door that he's okay, got old fast, right?
He's had his fair share of injuries, too.
That's what I mean. He gets old fast. I mean, Peyton Manning got old fast.
Yeah. Dude almost lost his life on a crotch rocker. Remember that? Seriously.
That's a different story, but
Ben Roethlisberger did.
I know.
I mean, that's still an injury nonetheless.
I know.
You had to overcome that. You don't see Tom Brady riding crotch rockets.
Well, that's probably what the guy was saying, right?
Smart. Yeah, crotch rocket. I mean, a little fun.
But I really feel like our expectation cannot be now like you should be playing into your early 40s at an MVP level. Well, why don't we just appreciate Tom Brady for who he is and what he's doing, and it's very different.
Yeah. No, you have to celebrate that's not the status quo. I mean, and that's why we should celebrate Tom Brady. Like, I get it. Some people want to hate on him, sure, but you got to respect him. Because what we're seeing, we probably are never going to see that again in terms of how old he is and the level that he's playing at. So just embrace it. Don't try to compare players to it. Just be thankful that you have it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe we do see Russell Wilson play until he's 42. Like,
better get that finger right.
It's true.
For real.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers, how much longer do you think Aaron Rodgers plays?
It's a better example.
That's a great example, yeah.
And keep in mind now, Aaron Rodgers didn't necessarily have the wear and tear early because he's sitting there watching Brett Favre and the mental gymnastics of playing, or is he going to retire, or all that stuff. But that being said, he didn't start his career really until he was like 20, I would say at least 25, but probably more like 26.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like Aaron Rodgers to me is a little more of like a free spirit than Tom Brady is. Like, I don't really know what Aaron Rodgers is thinking.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, he could come back to Green Bay. He could want to. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know how to answer that question. I don't think it's his goal to play 5 more years, but I could be wrong.
Well, and I don't know where Aaron is in terms of the pantheon of yardage and touchdowns and all that. Like, I mean, we just kind of brought this up. I don't have it in front of me. I do think I think Aaron Rodgers probably said 3 years ago, he's like, I'd like to play another 3-4 seasons at a high level. But then when you get to 3 or 4 seasons, you're still playing at this very high level, like MVP kind of level. The game is slowed, so it's fun. Like, it's fun when everything's easy for you, and you can still do it physically. And now you do start looking at the record books of your agent, or if someone in the family reminds you of it, and you're like, wait a minute, now if I play 2 more years, I can get to 50,000 passing yards. I can get to 400 touchdowns. I can, again, whatever the numbers are. I do think you start to factor that in a little bit. I don't know if Brady did that. He probably did that a little. I think Brady's motivation was, listen, I'm going to prove science wrong. I'm going to prove that if you take care of yourself, and this is going to almost benefit my business after football, my TB12, to show you if you do this, you can live a good life, whether you're playing in the NFL or whether you're walking around the block in your cul-de-sac, if you take care of your body. I almost felt like a different mission for Brady.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm still gonna eat carbs. I don't. You can.
Me too. I mean, I have 7 coffees a day.
No, I think Brady he drinks coffee, doesn't he?
Yeah, definitely.
But I'm
black.
sure it's black coffee. So to answer your question, Aaron Rodgers, in terms of passing yardage leaders,
I don't think he does drink coffee.
Really?
I don't think he does. I don't think he puts like any caffeine in it or something.
Maybe. I don't. Passing yardage leaders, Aaron Rodgers, number 10 all time at 54,123. He's essentially almost 30,000 yards behind Tom Brady.
Wow.
All time.
So, because Breeze and them were up to 80,000.
So Brady's got 82. Breeze has 80. Manning's got 71. Favre, 71. Philip Rivers, 63.
You just said something, though. Do you think Brett Favre is on Aaron Rodgers' mind?
That's a good call.
Now, he's at what? 50 what?
Brett Favre's got Aaron Rodgers is at 54,123.
Okay, so he's going to throw for another
71,000.
Okay, so he's going to throw for another 1,000. So he'll be then at 55. That means he's 4 seasons away from beating Brett Favre in today's NFL, where you're throwing for 4,000 easily.
Yep.
So he's about 4 seasons away. Maybe he does play for that long.
Okay, and then this is
because Brett Favre might be on his mind.
This can't be right. So Aaron. Okay, I'm sorry. I see it. Okay. So Aaron Rodgers is number 5 all-time in touchdowns, 435. Tom Brady's number 1 at 615. In terms of touchdowns with Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers is 5th. Brett Favre is 4th. Favre has 508. Rodgers has 435.
I'll tell you, that might be the motivation for Aaron Rodgers. Again, I do think after a while, it would be for me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, this is the guy I replace. Everybody says he's still like the best. Watch this.
Yep.
Right?
Well, and keep in mind,
And by the way, you're getting paid like $35 million a year. That's not bad either.
Well, and they each have one Super Bowl win right now, too.
And just have one. Yeah.
They each have one.
And that's important to those guys.
Yeah.
But like my point being, love of the game, competition, health, but somewhere in there, legacy comes into play.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah. Isn't that nuts that he only has one Super Bowl?
It is crazy.
I mean, for as good as for the numbers
and how many good
everything?
years they've been, and how many times they've been in like title games.
Nuts.
It is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
It's kind of nuts that the Pittsburgh Steelers haven't won one since like 2009 or 10.
It's a
or
good
whatever
call
it
too.
is.
By the way, not only does Tom Brady not drink coffee or any caffeinated stuff, but he says his tender lips have never even touched the evil bean, according to Food Network.
He's never drank coffee before?
Yep.
Tom, it's not evil.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, but get off the soapbox a little. He's the GOAT, but still.
That's taking it a little too far.
The evil bean. Come on.
Hey, UNF Ospreys play the Florida Gators tonight. Gators got upset the other night. I'm interested to see this one. Could are they just playing bad?
Driscoll going to pull a win out?
Can the Ospreys get one in Gainesville? I mean, that's a mismatch on paper, but we'll see. Yeah. So UNFOspreys.com for more. We'll show some of that tonight on CBS 47 and Fox 30. But Ospreys are home Saturday and Sunday, so make sure you go check out UNFOspreys.com for men's and women's basketball tickets, and we'll keep our eye on that one tonight against the Gators. Back at it tomorrow at String Sports Brewery in Springfield. Come on out, 3 p.m. on ESPN 690. Have a good night.